Before I start the show, if you haven't been following Mike Rankwit on social media lately, I highly recommend tuning in. He's been posting about snowboarders who matter in his opinion, and it's fucking sick. And please go to our website, FNRAdpodcast.com, and buy a $5 fantasy item to get yourself an entry into a draw for a PJ Gustafson Death Label snowboard with bindings. All the proceeds go to Save a Brain, Wish, and Chill. The FNRAd Snowboard Podcast is presented by Flojoy Water. Season 7 is sponsored by Burton Snowboards, founded in 1977 by Jake Burton Carpenter. With nearly 50 years of industry-leading innovation, Burton's purpose is clear: make great products, minimize harm to the environment, positively impact the lives they touch, and have as much fun as possible. All the Burton gear I've been riding is next level. For listeners in the Lower Mainland, Burton recently opened a flagship store on West 4th in Vancouver, as well as a partner store in Banff with Unlimited. Visit your local Burton retailer. Bluebird Coffee Tuning and Rentals in Squamish, BC is the coolest new stop just 20 seconds off the Sea to Sky Highway on your way to Whistler. Drop in for the world's best cup of coffee, killer smoothies, and a true local vibe born out of 90s snowboard culture and music. They offer performance ski and snowboard tunes with state-of-the-art equipment. They've got premium rental fleets of Jones, Solomon, Libtech, and Burton, including Burton Step-Ons. And if you haven't gotten yourself one yet, Bluebird will even sell you a rad power bike. These bikes are so fun. For a blend of expert knowledge, convenience, and a lot of charm, stop in and say hi to Bluebird, the raddest mandatory new stop on your way to Whistler. Fixed bindings are tool-free bindings that focus on dependability and strength while providing ease of adjustability. I've been riding fixed bindings for a couple of seasons now and have had exactly 0 issues. It's no wonder they've got a lifetime guarantee. Do yourself a favor and visit fixbindingco.com. Lock in and let go with Anon's magnetic face mask integration, built to keep you seamlessly covered from the elements, and Magnatech quick lens change technology that makes swapping lenses effortless even with gloves or mitts on. Enhance contrast and clarity with perceived lenses and get the most accurate perception of the surrounding environment regardless of light and weather conditions. Clarity starts where distraction ends. Full face coverage, complete presence. Check out Anon's helmets, goggles, and MFI face masks at an Anon dealer near you or at AnonOptics.com. Hey listeners, this one's for you. Upline Brewing is beer for snowboarders by longtime Pacific Northwest shredder and FNRAd listener Carl Montoya, who started Upline so you can crack a cold one anytime. No buzz, no slowdown, just good vibes. Unlike most NA beers, these actually taste legit, and they're brewed with adaptogens for a mellow uplift. The Steezy Golden Lager and Crushin' IPA come in at just 25 and 50 calories and feature artwork from local legends like Quincy Quigg. Have one at lunch, grab another lap, hit the after party, and still wake up for first chair or the bank slalom podium. Drinking regular beers, toss some Uplines into the lineup. The natural electrolytes help you stay hydrated and keep crushing. FNRAD listeners score 15% off at uplinebrewing.com with code FNRAD, or set up a subscription, save more, and never run out. Upline Brewing, brewed to adapt, crafted to elevate. Support also comes from the Pro Standard. Ken Achenbach has done it again with the push-button quick release for step-on bindings. Get them at prostandard.com before they sell out. Pacific Border, Vancouver's premium snow skate and surf shop on West 4th Avenue. Check out pacificborder.com. And 1910, the collaborative artworks of Jamie Lynn and Scof, two friends on a creative journey together, bonded by their love of art, music, and snowboarding. Go to the number 9, teen10.com for their latest collection. We need to thank our friends at Mount Seymour, Grouse Mountain, and Cypress Mountain for their continued support of FNRAd, as well as essential toothpaste tabs. I love them, I use them, go buy them today. Ben Bilocq has been a staple in the professional snowboarding scene since the mid-2000s. After filming nearly 10 years of video parts with Sugar Shack, Videograss, and Deja Vu, Ben moved into a guest pro model on Dinosaurs Will Die and built an amazing reputation as a builder of epic features. Community events like the ECS, Baked Salmon, It's Tits, Natural Selection, and the Uninvited Invitational have all benefited from Ben's skills at building features by hand, in a cat, and in the welding shop. His strong opinions on snowboarding seem to be born from his deep-seated love of snowboarding.
Like, you know, the classic, like, absent going on tour.
Yeah.
To me, it never meant anything because it wasn't riders from here. Like, the sandbox premieres were always the big deal, you know?
Yeah.
And so for me, like, that's the pinnacle of when people want to be there and snake in because it's sold out and all that stuff, like coming through like third floor and find their ways in like that.
I like that stuff.
I remember that dynamic, but maybe it was maybe only local videos will have that.
That's an interesting point, yeah, because like, I mean, the first things like that I ever went to were like Warren Miller or something, you know, like
at
IMAX, Warren Miller, like. It was, and you were just hoping there'd be some snowboarding in it. And I didn't mind watching skiing when I was a kid.
No, that's all we had.
Yeah, it was like kind of inspiring or whatever. Not the freestyle skiing though. There was something so robotic and wrong about those like big ski jumps where the guys are like legs together and flipping around.
It's gymnastic. In Quebec City, the shop there, DLX, would every year about this time of year would have like almost a festival.
Sick.
It'd start in the afternoon. All the reps were there giving stickers, showing their boards, and then they'd be showing 3 to 4 videos that night in a big theater. And that's as good as it gets.
That's as good as it was. Yeah, that was.
And then it turned into a little bit of a rail jam, just whatever it took for people to just come back, and you haven't seen them for months. You know, as a kid, that was pretty sick.
That happened in BC. So I moved here in '93, and it might have been '94 or '95. The BC Snow Show was at like BC Place or something inside, and there was an indoor quarter pipe that I think made it into a Mac Dog film.
Yeah, Peter's got.
That's it.
Shots.
Yeah, I helped with that on some level. But I remember being really like embarrassed by the setup. It was mostly wood. It was like.
But I think there was wasn't there an insane photo of Guy Deschênes doing an air to fakie on that quarter pipe?
I think there was. Yeah.
So like cool stuff came out of even the wackest looking thing. You know,
I think I went home like I don't think I went to. I didn't watch it or something. I had to work or something. But at that snow show, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, you could get, like, a 10-foot by 10-foot booth, right? And there would be, like, guys with squeegee keychains to wipe your goggles, and Mount Baker was there. And the boardroom booth that year was so big. Every rep, or, like, you know, there was Vans and Lib and Option and so many brands inside the boardroom booth with their reps there, with their samples, and you couldn't buy anything. So we were trying to send people out of the show down to the shop, right? Like
to buy it right away.
Yeah. We're like, oh yeah, buy it now. We were giving away like coupons. Like if you bring this snow show coupon to the store, you get a deal on the stuff or whatever. But that was what ended up killing it, was that you couldn't sell your stuff there, and you're taking half your shop. That's why the reps. It was like the year before, we take half the shop down there to show people stuff, and there's nothing to sell at the store, and it's the busiest weekend of the year. It's like it was in November or something. But then the movie premieres were awesome. We're sitting in the bleachers. They're putting it up on the big projection screen, you know, where they play the hockey stuff or whatever.
I think I don't know if maybe it was just me, but it's just hard to get excited about high-end snowboarding when we see it year-round now.
Yeah.
Especially at this time of year, it's like Stomping Ground Park in Switzerland. Like all of the craziest single tricks are being landed and showed like a minute later.
Yep.
So it's hard after that to watch like of course it's in the backcountry, but it's basically like similar stunts, or like you're desensitized to like gnarliness, I think.
Also, in my opinion, I've said it a bunch, when there's no gatekeeper, right? So Burton puts out a Burton movie, you know, if the shots they get aren't like the toppest tier shot, it's still their guy, it's still their filmer, it's still going to make it into the film. And no offense to Burton,
they did pretty good.
This
keeping
one
it
was
tight.
awesome.
I
This
think
one was
that, like
awesome.
big brands like that, they know better, but there's definitely
Right, they have a lot more to choose from. But the smaller brands,
but also they have a lot to lose if they're loose in their selection.
Although Vans was pretty loose for years, and that was kind of, they were leaning into being loose. Like, hey, we're going to do a video of our guys in a bus going around having fun, taking pictures, and...
But then that's different.
Yeah.
You know, it's framed like that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're just on the trip here. We're just boarding. It's different than like, here's our 3-year project, and this is groundbreaking snowboarding.
Right.
Like, I think you explained what it is. It's like a live recording is never going to sound like a studio recording.
They're getting closer now, aren't they?
I know, but like you expect to feel like the little, oh shit, like he didn't quite get the solo, but it was still sick.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's able to pull it even like on demand. You know?
Yeah, I just think the incentive, like MacDog knows what to cut, and I mean he was ruthless, right? Whereas
I agree with you. It'd be sick if there was a little bit more curation in general in the industry. But I mean, I really don't care about the industry. if they choose to be loose, then it's to their own demise in a way.
Yeah.
No, the industry is using the culture to sell their products.
Less and less, because so much more mainstream shit is going on.
Sure, but
now.
it's still based off of a genuine culture that exists.
Yes.
An aesthetic, an energy, you know, that exists. And then the brands are like, okay, which part of that do we want to utilize to sell our gear?
Right.
Whether it's the cute girls, the badass whatever, the big stunts, the cool kids, the smokers, the party people. Like they'll pick from wherever depending on the image they're selecting.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's the industry comes second. You know, that's not where it starts.
Yeah. Yeah.
The snowboarders were snowboarding, and then an industry was created around it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You can't put it more succinctly than that, dude. Like that's the thing. It's easy to forget sometimes because we have a lot of friends who are in the industry.
Yeah, in a place like Vancouver, it's very intertwined. I think it's in other places too, but Vancouver is very much like that. Old pros, new pros, aspiring pros, shop people, reps, and then we all ride the same place. So it is the industry on the chairlift, but it is they'd be there whether or not they work the industry, you know?
Yeah.
And
well, that's the way it
different
feels like it should be, right? Like there should be more of that in the industry in general. But then industry at the end of the day is manufacturing, it's getting materials and putting things together that don't fall apart, that are engineered properly, and that are, you know, supply chain.
You're very generous.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
No, they want to make money. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they're going to use pro snowboarders as long as it benefits them. If at some point pro snowboarders don't sell the gear, they'll find something else. They'll transition to a different product, to a different marketing technique. We're just a tool at this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually what happens is a company gains some steam because they recognize how important it is to partner with innovative and interesting professional snowboarders.
You can say that, but also we're very cheap labor.
Very cheap, yeah.
How much money do you make doing what you do? And you promote the industry. You know, you promote the activity
Absolutely.
that sells gear, and like there's people making a living off of the words you're saying.
Right.
For a whole season, you know? And it's the same for all the snowboarders. They're doing it and they're getting paid, I don't know, peanuts here and there. Same for filmers, photographers, like very underpaid in the bigger picture of like what else people do for a living.
There was a window where it started to get to where it looked exciting, you know, where filmers were getting paid. and riders were getting paid, and then it just, what happened? It just...
Like you're talking early 2000?
Mm-hmm.
It's when... Think of it as a graph,
Yeah.
you know? Like when you're buying stocks, it's when a stock is on its way up and it seems like it just keeps on going up.
Yeah.
So investments were going in. And at some point, the graph stabilized.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that people stopped snowboarding, but it was no longer exponential growth.
Right.
So as soon as it goes flat, then people question whether or not they want to keep on injecting more and more money year after year, or do they just like, all right, let's, you know, and it's like that for anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's going to happen for AI in next few months, you know?
Sure,
People
sure.
are going to slow down because they'll be like, all right, I think we peaked.
Right.
Where it's not going to decline.
Right. It did it
But-
with weed too. Like
Yeah.
weed, when it became legal in Canada, there was this huge
Because it goes from
influx
zero
of
and then
money.
it grows.
And people were speculating and going, "We're going to make a lot of
And
money
snowboarding
in this
was
thing."
snowboarding
Yeah.
was exactly that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
everyone jumped on. It was the new hot thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm just looking back and just knowledge of the financial system
Yeah.
tells you that that's what happened.
Right.
It's not like people were not interested or people went back to skiing. That's not what it is.
Oh God, no,
it's
it wasn't
just that it stabilized. Like it grew to the point that it could grow.
Yeah.
And now we've just been cannibalizing. Like there used to be so many brands, so many board brand, boot brand, binding brands. Like how many is there left? Like very few.
Out of the 250 or 300 that were showing at Vegas that one year, right? They're all gone.
Yeah.
Some guys are bringing stuff back. Ingmar told me yesterday, and he posted today, or Atlantis. He's gonna reboot it
Well,
himself.
someone in France was trying to do that last few years.
With Atlantis?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Daniel Frank was riding one for a hot second there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I didn't see it. Ingmar had his, the big Rick Scranton board up for grabs. He was like, "Do I sell this thing?" And everybody came out of the woodwork and said, "Don't sell it, keep it." And
Yeah, take the hit for us.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so
they should send him money to keep it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's in the end what kind of happened.
Okay, nice.
Was that people were like, and so he's riding that wave now, going like, maybe if I make a small run of Atlantis boards and it's just me and I keep it tight, there's some money that I can get out of that. It's exactly what you're just talking about, essentially.
I have the poster in my room right now. of
That's
the method.
amazing. What shot? The
I think it's the same as the poster, but it's a wide version, wide frame, like horizontal.
do you know who shot it? I think it might have been Wickberg.
No, he shot the video.
Oh yeah, he shot the video that
I don't
Mac
know
Dog
who
bought.
who left the credit on that photo.
Yeah, there's some new. Ingmar put out a new,
A new angle.
really good angle. Yeah, I mean, I think people had seen it, but it was very rare. Like a couple of weeks ago, it's so dope. It was such a unifying moment in snowboarding. Hey,
The first video I've ever had, the video opened with that, and it wasn't the Mac Dog one. It was Transworld Video Magazine. That it was like a volume 2, number 1, or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
And it started with like no audio, just audio of the session.
yeah.
It's
The
just coming down the
lump or whatever's playing in the background. Yeah.
and so I think, I mean, basically, not that we're talking about that, but that's what I chase every year when I go to Seymour and build a quarter pipe. I'm
Quarter
like,
pipe. Yeah, dude.
Like I'll never beat it, but that's still like, let's see what
Go
is
up
doable.
higher.
If he was able to do that with like shitty boots and
Oh yeah.
and the shape was probably not even that good. Like it's probably great for the time, but like
look at the in run. He's like hopping all around. Like it's like bop bop bop
like
bop.
it was. So anyways, I'm just
Yeah.
it's still a dream of mine because that's what I
love
was
that.
raised on, literally.
Yeah, that was your first video. So that's like 95
Six.
or 96. Yeah. Holy crap. Oh yeah, because it's a 95. It's a 30
They'll
year
be 30.
30-year anniversary this year, and they're gonna rebuild the quarter pipe at Rick Scranton, and he's gonna be there. And there's
Oh, you mean
It's gonna
next
be-
spring?
yeah, this
Yeah, yeah.
May coming up. It's
Nice.
2026. Yeah, geez, maybe it was 96. It was spring of 96, right? Because it came out.
Because that
winter
video
of-
they were showing the U.S. Open '96.
Yep.
That's why I remember that.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's super cool. Those video magazines should have never gone away. But they were
called Instagram now.
yeah, they were probably expensive to make because they were Mac Dog Productions, I think.
Yeah, but they were all made with B footage.
Yep.
I think. I don't know.
So it is Instagram.
Yeah. and actual paper magazines. I don't know. Like, I think people are doing things if it's profitable, and they don't if it isn't.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I found out that magazines were never really designed for the reader. They were designed for the advertisements. So
everything.
Yeah.
You know what? When I figured that out was when I worked at World Cups. I was like, oh, this is just because then you look back at like hockey, NHL, like they advertise everything but hockey gear. Right. Basically, like on the boards, like it's
Tim
Dunkin'
Hortons,
Donuts, whatever.
Yeah.
Insurance companies.
Yeah.
And then I work at World Cups. I'm like, oh, that's the exact same thing.
No way.
It's like Alberta beef producers or whatever. Like it's
sure.
Like, I think Nitro was the only brand that did something because Ryan lives in Edmonton and wanted his stuff on
so
those
he
boards.
put a banner up on.
Yeah, like he paid advertising at like next to whatever, like federal government, and then Nitro. It was the only endemic brand there.
It's so expensive. Yeah.
But
crazy.
it made me realize that putting up those events is just a reason to sell advertising. It really doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Whether it's a rodeo,
the spectacle,
anything, wrestling.
Yeah.
It's just about selling advertisements.
As long as you can bring in a crowd, and you know what? Even the crowds don't have to be that big.
Just justify that there's eyes on it.
Yeah.
Try to put a number to that.
That's what the magazines were doing, right? The magazines were telling the ad people, this is how many magazines we're making. And, then they would make that many magazines, throw 3/4 of them in the recycling, and send out way too many to all the people that would take them. I mean, it's kind of shameful, actually. It's sort of a bummer. But when did you stop reading magazines? I stopped right around when you started snowboarding. Like they were full of Ford ads and stuff that wasn't relevant.
It wasn't so much the content that was the issue, but more it could just be an age thing. But to be involved in the industry, you're no longer looking at it with any type of magical aspect to it. You become more like cynical.
Sure, I have.
You only care about. You kind of just you're looking at it just to position yourself a little bit. To know if you're still in it or like get influenced a little bit, but in a sense of like I got to keep up with this, I got to keep up with that, more so than like, wow, I love what I'm seeing and this is like changing my outlook on life. It's more like business,
right?
Like almost like a spying. I don't know.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Word, like,
no, I hear what you're saying.
Like you're only doing this because that's your business to pay attention.
I never thought about that. Like,
and videos and magazines kind of turn into that. Not fully, but gradually you become less and less interested in like how cool it is. It's more like,
or the feeling,
this fucking
right.
guy again on the cover. And then,
yeah.
Like I bet he didn't even grab. I know he didn't land, and then you know too much. I think like all the.
You're like, I bet he didn't pick this song. This is, or this is, what a terrible song.
Or I know the guy, I know he can't do these things. Whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
Or I know that because my part had unlanded tricks. I know how the sauce is made. The sausage is made, anyways, all these things kind of lose its shine as you.
God, I'm so lucky. So I think as an enthusiast, you know what I mean? Like a shop guy that like just loved to snowboard. I had access and I still could appreciate, like I watched all that shit for fun.
You were far enough that you could remain kind of naive to how it
Very
happens.
naive. And also, you'd have reps and people coming in kind of catering to you going like, hey, look, we got you a signed poster. You're like, wow, cool, signed poster. I'm not looking at it thinking like, oh, he missed his grab or whatever. Or there's like a little movie magic in this or whatever.
Which, honestly, I love, personally, I love the process of creating photos, creating video clips, and editing the stuff. Like the art of doing that, I love it. But like you're no longer a fan of it. You're just someone who does it.
Yeah.
So it's a strange dynamic, and it's a shame because it takes away from what it was for me. But it could just be an age thing, honestly. Like you kind of age out of believing in Santa Claus kind of thing.
Totally.
Christmas is still magical in a way, but Santa Claus doesn't exist.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good analogy.
And now when I do go to premieres and get involved, it's like people ask me, hey, how was the video? I'm like, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because it's my people and I'm supporting. Like, I mean, it's like a party, whatever. It's someone's birthday, basically.
Right. Yeah. I just saw you at the Burton premiere, and there was a real gap between, like, I'm 52, man. Like, I'm old, and there were kids there that were, I don't know, definitely under 20, and it was. But
there were also
crowd.
Parents with their kids that that bridged the gap that way.
That's true. Yeah, my parents would have never, ever attended one of these things. It just wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? They'd drop me off, and I'd be like, go away.
But you also probably didn't want to.
No, not at
to
all.
have them there.
No, I wanted to, like, sneak in a Mickey of booze or something, get wasted. And why were we so? I don't know about your guys, but our whole MO was like, get fucked up. I don't see that as much anymore.
I think that's when you're at that age, you'll try to do that anywhere, anytime there's a gathering.
But not now. Like, these kids aren't sneaking stuff in and getting loose.
That's good.
Yeah. It is, right?
Yeah, I think that's something we can talk about once there's more data, but I think there's starting to be data proving that kids don't drink as much, and it's becoming a bit of a thing for liquor stores. And
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because their business is reducing.
Yes. I just came back from China, and what I saw, which is just like one guy's like kind of like, wow. And I was overwhelmed by how crazy it is over there compared to here. Like, just it's so different. Food is cheaper. The streets are very clean. There's no homeless people. There's nothing that to show like societal decay or anything like that. And I mean, I went through a fairly affluent place, obviously, but in Shenzhen, the world's biggest indoor place, it's like 90% snowboarding, maybe 95. Like, there's no skiers, and there's no sense of like real rebellion. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like from a Western standpoint, maybe having like stuffed animals on your kit is like rebellious. I don't know. I don't think so. Seemed like what normal people were doing with their purses and handbags anyways. Like, it just seemed like it was like something fun to do, and that was where everybody was. Everyone was like, this is super fun. This is super cool. Like, we are doing this snowboarding thing.
I mean, you can't really be that rebellious when you're in the big refrigerator.
No,
you can't hide in the trees or
no,
whatever.
You
can't stash stuff somewhere and then.
Dude, we could have. Like, we definitely would have. I mean, no, you have to go through a metal detector to get in there. Like, yeah.
So I think it's just
the
nature of what it is.
Maybe you're right.
And honestly, in general, the snowboard culture has definitely cleaned itself up.
Yeah.
Like, not that there isn't a subculture of it that's still like original punk rock, but what's being showcased in general is a much cleaner version of it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't make it.
Not trying to blame
as
anyone, but it just it is now a mainstream activity.
Right.
Just like cross country skiing, there's probably some party people who cross country ski, you know.
Sure.
But that's not that's not the presentation they're going to give the activity when they're selling it in a magazine.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, when I think of like mainstream sports, hockey, basketball.
Hockey players get wasted.
Do they?
Yeah. Anyone in their late teens, early 20s.
Sure.
So
did they go through it though? Like, did basketball have like they were touring around and just being badasses? Probably, right?
I mean, Hockey Canada had how many situations recently that got swept under the rug? You know?
I have no idea. Is it? Yeah. I guess professional
they just
athlete.
Have people cleaning up after them.
Professional athlete as a job, if you're in a community sport, even snowboarding is a sport, right? There's a debate there. I guess it is. Once it has a
knitting can be a sport.
It
You
could
can make
be.
it a sport if
You
you
could
want.
make it, right?
But is that what you want it to be?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Is that
I mean, if you want to fall down that, if that's the topic you want to talk about, I definitely have a lot of analogies.
yeah, like I think that there's nothing you can do to snowboarding to make it fit any label. Snowboarding is so many different things. Like,
Well, it depends who you are.
right,
Like, what's your goal here? Like, are you trying to just get exercise?
right.
Are you trying to clear your head from anger or whatever? Are you trying to be a part of a crew, or like there's so many
Are you
reasons to get in it.
competitive? Right. Are you?
And
Yeah.
it's kind of like in snowboarding right now, we're at the point where the TV show The Voice, where it's like a
Yes.
whole bunch of people trying to become the best singer.
Sure.
Is that what we want for snowboarding? Like none of these guys are gonna end up being recording artists,
Right.
or we're not to begin with. They're just randoms that it's like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but that like snowboarding already has people that are creative and like influential in their own ways because they're unique. But there's also this big force of like, it needs to be whoever did the new craziest trick.
Yes.
And that's a sports mentality, when in reality it's a cultural activity that if you choose to turn it into a sport, I think that's the end of what makes it special.
I agree.
If music, the only way to be a professional musician was to play as fast as you can on your guitar, and that's the only way you qualify
Right.
to be a professional guitar player,
Right.
people would get bored of it. It'd be like, no, that, like, who the fuck cares?
Right. That's the bomb hole brought up, like, hey, it's coming. Someone's going to do like a 3,000 at some point. I
And
think
so that's the sports side.
they're over 1980, right? Like they're into the 20s.
Yeah. And that does not make a difference on how many boards they sell.
It's still the same guy. It's still Chad Otterstrom saying, like, add another 180. You're not inventing anything new, right? And they're at like
But you're also
6 now.
You're not attracting new people by saying, hey, there's this new kid that spun more. Maybe we should pick him up because he's spinning more than the last.
Right.
As if that's what's going to sell more T-shirts or more hats or whatever.
Right.
Like that's not how we measure the value. If you want to talk on an industry, kind of, not that it matters, but I just find that this fixation on like thinking what's gonna improve situation. I don't know. There's just so many
Yeah.
great individuals in snowboarding. Like Peter Line would come up today and he would never be a professional. He wouldn't qualify to today's standards.
To today's standards,
to be
right.
a professional.
Right. He's close.
And same for Jamie
yeah.
Lynn. Like how?
Oh, yeah,
You know, he would never have made it anywhere in today's world.
No.
And that'd be a shame.
It'd be a shame.
Right.
Right.
Like if I'd be 7 today, I don't know if I would be in love with snowboarding.
I think it'd be hard to get you in love with snowboarding.
Because what's being
what are you gonna
showcased is
see?
the
Yeah.
clean version. It's no longer the whiskey videos. Not that whiskey had, like, it was a little harsh, but like you'd walk into a board shop before I had my first snowboard. That was was playing. If you picked up a magazine like Concrete Powder, it was a bunch of photos of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was black and white. It wasn't the most polished thing you could pick up as a kid.
Definitely not.
Like collecting hockey cards was much more, doable or like palatable at that time.
yeah.
But there was something, that really, I think, got us involved. And
Yeah,
now it's the same as all the other sports at the Olympics from a lot of people's perspective.
From a kid's standpoint, yeah.
What makes it stand out now?
It's so fun when you do it. I think that's the thing. If you've played basketball,
But
and
before you do it, that's why did I want to do it before I even had access to one? Like, what is it? Like, I don't even remember a time before I wanted to snowboard or skateboard. So there was something tangible, or I guess that you could recognize as a kid that, hey, this is different. This looks like something I want to be a part of. Aside from how it's going to feel.
I wish that's how it was for me. For me, it was it's very specific, and I remember it. although memory is fickle. It was one guy. Like, I skated with a group of guys at a ramp, and my friend Roger got better than me, and it infuriated me. And so I got on a snowboard with the idea that I was going to be better than Roger for forever. Because if I just did it in secret for a year before he got started, there's no way he could catch up. That's how it felt to me.
But how did you think to even want to snowboard?
Because it was adjacent. It was just like an adjacent thing. It started showing up
it was
in
already
Thrasher.
in your.
It started to.
You already knew it existed. I'm talking like I don't even know when snowboarding entered my mind because it was that early.
Oh wow!
That it was like already the coolest thing I could want to do.
Right.
I had skis and I was ashamed to walk around with skis.
When you were a kid.
Yeah, because I wanted to snowboard, but my parents were like, "No, you got to ski first." Yeah. So if I walked past a younger snowboarder, I'd be like, "Fuck, this should be me."
Wow.
Like I want them to know that this is what I want to do. I'm on those skis because I have to right now.
Yeah.
Like there was that weird feeling of like, I'm one of yours, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, once I strapped on a snowboard and could do everything that I ever dreamed of doing on a launch ramp on my skateboard, because that's what it was. It was like launch ramp days. And I was like, oh my God, this is easy. Like so easy.
By
and
comparison.
So fulfilling. And then from that would have been the first minute I was snowboarding, something changed inside of me where I was like, oh, I just want to do this as often as I can. Like, this is cool. This is fun. Like, this is for me. I didn't care to get a picture in a magazine or do anything with it, anything. It just felt like, I want to go to a bigger hill. Let's check that out. What's that like? I want to try and ride a T-bar or a chairlift or whatever. Everything was like an adventure, and the payoff was huge every time. It was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And at every step, including coming out west and going to Whistler and going up and up and up and up and then dropping in. I remember one day in the first season I was out here going up Whistler, and somebody was coming down like fresh tracks, first tracks, and like there wasn't like 30 or 50 or 100 people with them. It was one guy who had made it to mid-mountain as we were going up, and he head over heeled in his skis, and then he was sitting down, and like the snow was up to his neck, and I was like, this is insane. This can't be real. It's like a pile of leaves but everywhere, you know? Like, what the hell is this? It was so rad, like all the way along. So it started with like a desire to be better at skateboarding than someone else. And I knew that skateboarding and snowboarding shared something that...
But you were already in love with that energy of
skateboarding 100%.
Of the counterculture kind of thing.
Absolutely. Like the people...
So, and now, and I always kind of blame X Games for like merging all the underground sports to make them look as one.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you'd be like, I love X Games. I'll pick a sport out of that.
Mm.
And now we're levels past that. Now it's skate and snowboard are just right next to biathlon and diving.
You're right.
And so as a kid, you're just like, okay, which one is my sport?
So my son's good friend growing up wanted to be a Red Bull athlete. I didn't know, like, that was the first time I heard that. I was like, Red Bull athlete, like, in what sport? And he goes, it doesn't matter.
So it's I guess it's the same. They're just, that's why I'm getting at. Like, in the end, they're just absorbing all of those cool energies from all these different activities that all have their own scene that's very unique to all of them, whether it's breakdancing, flatland BMX, or skydiving. Like, everyone has their own scene that's very core, very legit in their own ways. But these companies, these industries are just sucking the life out of it in a way.
Absolutely.
I kind of dislike the idea that those companies are supporting the sport. I think it's the other way around.
Right.
That's kind of how I've been framing it, and because in a way, like as soon as those companies don't, and I'm just saying the same thing as I was earlier, as soon as they no longer see value, they back out, and they leave with that chunk that you thought they were giving, they were supporting you with. They leave with it. So now you're like, shit, that was one of my pillars.
Yeah.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
And so we should have never used them saying you're supporting us.
I've said this on the show before, but I do stand by it. I don't know if anyone else thinks of it this way, but snowboarding was born into an industry that already existed. Skiing was already, they already had, they had everything. They had chairlift access resorts. They had snowmobiling. They had goggles. They had all the technology. They had catboarding. They had cat skiing, heli skiing. It all existed before snowboarding was there. So snowboarding comes out, and it's akin to skateboarding if roller skating had already just like dominated the planet for a long enough time that roller skating just said, yeah, we'll make the skateboards for you and you can skateboard at our roller skating rink. Like, that's the way skateboarding is. Like, skiing, like, we were totally against skiing on principle as a group when in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Not everyone, but as a group, it was kind of like, fuck skiing, you know? Meanwhile, ski companies were making Burton boards in 85 or 86, you know? It was, and then they had their numbers, so then they can make their own boards. It was like we were born into a situation where we never really, you know, Mike and Pete from LibTech and lots of little independents definitely tried to buck that system. But in the end, you know, Rozzy owned them for a while. But
I don't care. I don't care too much if snowboard companies are owned by ski companies, if it's a legit ski company.
Yeah, and
because in the end, skiing and snowboarding is the same thing.
It is.
You're a ski bum whether or not you ski or snowboard.
That's true.
Like you're a ski bum.
It was already there.
Living that it's the same lifestyle. Yeah. Yes, there's variation, but it's literally the same thing.
Yeah, because the same crew.
Once we start, like, we were talking. Best part of the Burton premiere the other night was the drive down with the boys and just chatting and
sick.
And they were like, "Oh, today's fashion is actually pretty mellow compared to what it's been in the past." But I was like, I don't know. When I started snowboarding in '96, if you wore North Face, you were not wearing snowboard gear
at all. Ski gear.
It's like, sorry, you're not wearing the right stuff.
Patagonia? No way.
Yeah. So as chill as it seems today, this would have been the most like, wow, what are you guys doing? Colombia? What?
Yeah.
You know, like all these things.
Totally.
Helly Hansen? Like, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm just saying, like.
And you're not dissing it. You're just saying that's how it was. It was like we wanted to put our own identity
it had a distinct pattern. Yes. It was like very opposite to what North Face, like the classic ski instructor kit, you know, Avalanche or whatever, the Spider.
Yeah.
And North Face was kind of like more outdoorsy, but it just wasn't snowboarding. North Face and all these other companies. And now that's what snowboarding looks like. And like real snowboard companies are copying that style now.
Right.
Like that is the trend today. So I as chill as it seems, it is outrageous from if you were 20 years ago and someone told you everyone's going to be wearing outdoor brands, and that will be the lifeblood of our industry today. I don't think anyone would have believed it.
You just said the exact same thing I said about the skiing industry just enveloping snowboarding. And it's the same thing with the outerwear. So like Joel Gomez was the first to do a Gore-Tex Sessions jacket. And Jamie Lynn was pushing for that because he saw Mike Rankwit and North Face stuff and said, well, that shit works. Well, at the end of the day, North Face has worked since the early 90s. So it was just a matter of time.
It was just an identity thing at that time, right? It's like, if that's not ours, therefore we're not down. And skate shoes had to be the skate shoes.
Right. But
even if the tennis shoes were exactly the same.
Right, because if they fell off your feet and they were more expensive, you were at least supporting people that were trying to build our own thing.
Well, I mean, as a 10-year-old, to me, I wasn't even thinking that far. I was just like, this is not the cool stuff.
Right.
And it was that dumb, you know. It was that
No,
simple-minded.
totally. I mean, I'm probably still on that tip somehow. I mean, no, as an older guy, I care about the function. You know what I mean? But there are incentive programs where I could ride stuff that's not as functional as I know stuff could be. Could just be the fashion, right? Like I could see an anorak pullover that I like the style of. Oh, that one only comes in 10K or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ride it on days where it's not pouring rain. But yeah, it's definitely gotten boring with the outerwear. Wow, when I see a 15-year-old video and the stuff that people were wearing, even
The Skittles?
your stuff in Videograss, like you have a style that's like, oh fuck, that's so cool.
I mean, I think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't regret it, but the reason I wore what I was wearing then was I was trying to not be like everybody else. And
Yeah.
as soon as everybody else kind of caught up and made that something different, I was like, I no longer identify with what I'm seeing around me with those tight pants. And
Did you ever do a flashy era, bright, you like wear scarves and shit like that?
I mean, I wore scarves, but not to be flashy. It
Yeah.
was just to I guess because as a kid, you just wear a neck warmer, and
Yep.
it was just a way to not be a kid anymore. What can I do? Whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely being influenced by Corey Smith and guys like that
Oh.
a little bit, just
such
to be
good
like, hey,
style.
how can we be different? But
Mhm.
but anyways, as soon as like it became something that I no longer recognize myself in, I kind of distanced myself from
Move to the next thing, or just
it, or just kind of
found
gave up.
something
I
different.
guess
Really?
gave up on trying
yeah.
to be something that's trying to make a statement out of like being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like you're saying, like a function and
Yes.
just
yeah.
being comfortable became a little bit more important.
You go,
than being
okay,
as tight.
if I'm not saying something with what I'm wearing, I may as well like start focusing on just being comfortable when I'm out in the elements.
Yeah.
Because you're out there and it's fucking cold if you've got the wrong shit. Definitely sucks to have, wet ass because you wore a big sweatshirt or something.
L1 was making a lot of corduroy back then,
Yeah.
which was not good for
No.
Whistler.
Man. No. Coastal mountain snow is just
It
wet.
looked
and
sick, but
shitty.
it just wasn't functional for what we were doing.
Yeah, I had analog pants that were like kind of brushed cotton, like, oh, dude.
Teddy bear.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. I loved them until I rode in them, and then I was like, I'm soaked. But you look great when you're dry, and then you're just soaked. Nobody looks good when they're wet.
Don't look comfortable.
You know what? If you're a kid out there listening to the show and you want to set a trend, try and figure out a way to look cool soaking wet. Just
I mean, honestly, I just think that whatever people want to do, like what we thought was cool when we were 14,
yeah,
they're looking at it the exact same way today.
it's true.
And
It
it's
just
no
cycles
longer
around.
for us to judge it.
No, I definitely.
That's kind of.
Yeah, I definitely. I had such a poor eye for like what was going on. You know what I mean? When I look back at like John Roth and the kits that he wore and the chances he took with the colors and everything, I'm like, fuck. I wish everyone would have done that. It looks dope. Jackets open, just like fashion, and good. Like you have to be good.
Yeah, it only
as well.
works if you're good at it.
Yeah, it only works when you have like epic style.
Like JP Walker's image would not have worked if he wasn't,
Oh God.
the leader of
Yeah.
of creativity and progression at that time.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
It was
it
just
was
a perfect-
contrived or something, but then because he was so good, it was fucking
Yeah.
gangster. Funny to use a word like that for snowboarding
said it.
and getting paid, right? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like it's one of those things that if you're good enough, you can make anything cool.
Yeah, Mark Frank Montoya, he had such like flair, whatever you want to call it. But so did Palmer. So did a lot of people, like spikes throughout the years, like people that just played to their own tune. Now I recognize and celebrate some of the people that at the time I thought were like a little too weird or quirky. I'm like, good for them. Stoked that they did that. Stoked that that snowboarding was just
open to that.
Whatever.
Keeping space for that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, the one board theory. You ride one board, is that right?
Yeah.
And you ride one board for a real reason. And I was thinking about it on the way up. If you were a professional snowboarder, would you want to diversify and try and be good at every kind of board that there is out there? Like get.
I mean, I think it's
a
mentality thing, right?
Yeah.
If it feels better for you to do this trick because you just switched to the board that for you felt like that was the board you should be using,
right? Then
that works.
Totally.
For me, I'm just always afraid of making the wrong choice,
mm-hmm.
And that is a stronger fear than, I guess that's a stronger driver in my decision making.
Yeah.
So to just stick to the thing that I rode yesterday, and I'll ride tomorrow, so why not ride it today?
Yep. Yeah.
It's that simple. Because I used to have a few boards. I'd have like the street board that's super short. I could never ride it up on Whistler Blackcomb. It's just too short and no edges, or like super dull edges. So yeah, that never goes on the mountain. So I'd have the 52 that's like in between at that time. Like I'd have a 48, 52, 55. 52 was sometimes would have edges up until mid-March, and then I'd sacrifice the edges because it gets softer. I maybe won't need them, and then that'd be like my park board, and then I'd have the 55 for when I'm going sledding. So that's 3 boards. It all made sense in theory, but when I jump on my 55 for just when I go sledding, or when it's deep enough on the mountain, it feels big because I never got used to the 55.
Right.
And so the benefits of the 55 were not that beneficial in the sense that I wasn't used to it. My legs were not used to put that much force to spin it around, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the full potential of my 55 because I wasn't comfortable enough with it. And so the longer I drive the 55, then step down, then that feels good. It feels super playful. You can do anything you want. So stepping down works, but if you step down, it also means you need to step back up.
Yeah.
So that would always come back.
Interesting. Yeah. So
it's that simple. And then now I'm at 57, and I don't feel like I need to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Mikkel's on a 69 or whatever, and I think it's a 69. And you see him at Cypress, you're like, damn, that's a big board for this tiny little place, but it's playful. And then you see him in Alaska and he's riding the exact same board.
I mean, until he no longer needs to go that fast, I guess maybe he's gonna feel like going shorter. And I'm sure there's plenty of boards that would work amazingly in Japan or whatever, a little bit more directional, pointy tips, short tail, whatever. But I'm not there, I guess.
No, it's
because if you're expecting to ride POW and then turns out the POW is shit, but the park is sick, but you have the wrong board, like you just diminish the fun you might be able to have. And as much as people say, "Oh, you can still ride the park with this board, it's sick," it's like, come on,
not really.
Like you're just trying to,
I
don't know, be the cool guy.
Some people can. Some people.
No, I'm sure you can do anything anytime.
I can't.
But that's not. I would then feel bad, be like, fuck, I'm not going to board slide this sick POW board. Yeah. And as a kid, I'd have my pipe board and my regular park board. Yeah. Because in Quebec, you needed pretty sharp edges.
Really sharp.
And so from an early age, I had to make those decisions of like, am I going to ride the pipe now? Because that means I got to switch the bindings. And that was such an effort. And like...
You had 2 boards, 1 set of bindings.
Yeah.
And so, it's a big deal.
So it's just, as soon as you find that you maybe don't need to do that, it's kind of liberating, I guess. It's there. You don't question it. You just grab your board and you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds rad,
just like
actually.
when you were a kid, you know? actual kid.
Actual kid, yeah. I definitely, one season just had 2 stances on one board. It was a 57 ride something. It was nice. It was a nice board, a DH, I think. It was a really good board. And for freestyle, just riding it centered, it was perfect. And then when it would get, deep for around here, I'd just set the bindings all the way to the back of the board. Moving them back 1.5 inches was enough that there's more nose and tail, and I didn't have to really lean back on my back leg that much, and it just worked. But you're not doing that. You're keeping your 57 set up the way it's set up.
You lost me there,
It's work, and it's...
I mean, I'm not against work. It's just, then it's like, did I fuck up by changing my stance?
Right,
Did I make the wrong decision?
Right.
I'm fine. This board's fine. Like, it might be a little bit more work.
Have you ever seen Devin, the way that he can just, like, take someone else's board and put it on and be like, oh, your stance is weird and wide, and then just hit something and look so fucking good.
Like, it's him.
Right, but yeah, I could imagine him being the same as you, like being like, I need it set the way that I need it. Like Shaun White had the same stance for most of his career.
But it's not that I can't operate in other ways. It's the feeling of like, oh shit, I didn't dress properly.
I got you.
Like I'm not.
Yes.
This is not. I didn't expect this.
Okay, I totally get that.
It's just that.
I've sat on the chairlift where I'm like, I'm 1 layer short of what I should be today, and at the end of each chairlift, I'm like shaking and cold, and then you ride and you warm up and you get to the bottom, you're like, holy fuck, I guess I can do one more, and then by the top, you're like, oh my god, I just don't.
So it's the same,
I'm
but
too short on my layers. Yeah,
it's literally that, but for the board.
Yeah, I get
it.
Like
that feeling of like, fuck, that was a wrong call.
Right, and the day's kind of ruined actually. Cause,
yeah, in a way, or at least
in a certain way.
There's just something that's off. That didn't have to be off in the first place. That's really all it is.
Right. If you hadn't changed it, you would be fine.
And I wouldn't question it.
Right. You wouldn't even. Have to
maybe
think about
it wasn't the right board, but that was the only option. So I didn't. The decision making step is gone.
I like that.
It's that simple. It really isn't scientific.
How was working for Natural Selection? Did you get a call and they said like, can you come and build? What did you do there? Like, I want to ask you about Natural Selection, and I want to ask you about the Uninvited Invitational and how you're like facilitating these world-class contests, which is, a bend jump is sick. Like I have told you before, like, oh, I notice when you've been at Seymour and you pick a spot and you build something properly, it enhances the day, it enhances the area. It's rad. So yeah, I
don't really know. I mean, thank you, but I guess through that, basically, like that kind of reputation, Sansalon works at Baldface.
Nice.
And I'm sure Jeff was walking around asking, hey, do you guys know anyone who wants to come shovel the course? We need to start prepping it for the event they were gonna have there.
Yeah.
And he reached out. He's like, yeah, we're just kind of testing the waters. Like, but would you be interested in doing that? And so that's kind of all it was. In reality, I was like, as if there's no one closer to me than me to Nelson.
7-hour drive.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, okay, there's no one in Nelson. And so I did that. I had no idea how to do any of it.
What do you mean?
Because, I mean, just like what Travis wants, prep this, prep that. Like, I had never done that kind of work. I built plenty of jumps, but like that's a very specific kind of work. Just super steep hill. What's it supposed to look like? What does he expect?
Right.
So like, when we got there day one, we all got out. Like, it was me and a bunch of staff from Baldface, mostly guides.
Right.
And we get off at the top of Scary Cherry, and they all look at me. They're like, okay, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know. And we had kind of a checklist of like what he wanted to do in words.
Yeah.
And we're like, what does this even mean? So it was very, very, we did our best, I guess.
Yeah.
And then went back a week later. Like, I did like 3-4 days, left, and was called back a week or two later. And then Travis was going to be there with us. It was going to be the last build.
Yeah.
Or like the main build.
Yep.
And first day we get up to the top, and he's just not happy with what we did. He's just like, I said this, and he's just
right.
like he didn't say it at me, but I heard through the vines that he was not pleased with the work we did.
Oh man.
But I mean, I get it. Like,
sure.
In his mind, what he wrote was like, do this, but I didn't know that's what it meant. He said, for example, shave the pillow up on that thing up there, you know?
Sure. Right.
Like shave the pillow. I'm like the overhangs or from the top? Like
right.
I didn't
That's
know.
a big deal.
So I shaved the overhangs, but I left the top. But what he meant is the snow is rotting from under, so it holds onto nothing.
Oh.
So he's like, shave it, pack it down, so it's got a solid base. But I had no idea. I just shaved the side, so it didn't have cornices.
I totally get it. Yeah.
And
yeah.
sure enough, the pillow that followed Sage Kotzenberg down
that's
the thing.
That it was. Yeah. So that
so
he
it
had
made sense.
He had a reason to be upset.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Definitely.
But that it's that was
or Sage or Dustin. I'm not sure.
I remember the exact bulb, and it was
and
crazy.
I'm sure Travis will remember me because of that. If at all, it will be because of that.
Come on. No, you have a reputation before.
Oh, but it was an
stuff,
amazing experience just to get to learn from the people there that had been doing the other events. And
Scary Cherry is rad, dude. Like, it looks, when you're in the cat looking out the window, you're like, wow, it's vert.
So like the snow
steep.
goes, everything creates spines. So every time a little bit of snow drops, it just cleans everything up. So there's very little snow on that face. So it's pretty scary to work on.
Really? Yeah.
Like it's not any day that you just play in that steep of a face. But yeah, the working techniques. Oh, and the second time when I went back, Jeff was asking, do you know anyone else who wants to come with you? So I hired Jess and her best friend Carla to come work with us.
Rad.
So that was super fun.
Oh, that would have been way more fun having like a group of friends there.
I mean, after like the people there were great. Like that's not the issue. But now it was just like, all right, they're that desperate, you know?
Yeah.
They trust me and they trust my judgment to bring more people. So it kind of gave me a lot of confidence to do that, or to at least promote that this is what I'm going to do for a living. Because I did it for Jess and friends.
Yes.
That they would pay me for like certain things.
Yeah.
But I never like walked around with like a business card saying, hey, I'm a builder.
Right.
Hire me. Here's my rate. But as I was over there, Charles Beaconsdale was there building like the big booter at the bottom.
Yeah.
With the snowcat and did a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and he's a celebrity builder.
And he's like as famous as it gets in that world. In a way.
Right.
And so we got to chat a lot, and he definitely pumped my tires.
Sweet.
Like, oh yeah, you should do this, and this is how much you should charge. Like, and would give me reference to what he does and how he operates, and that really gave me the confidence to think that it was doable. To not just, I'm not limited to my friends.
Right. That's really nice.
And so that kind of grew from there in a way.
Yeah, Tyler Nichols, who does Mount Seymour builds, and I mean, you know.
Oh, he's at Baldy now.
He's at Baldy now, and you would have been riding Seymour when he was the builder. Did you get?
Yeah,
to
but
ride
I didn't know
Tyler
him
yet?
then. I met him at SEMA. He's the one that invited us to go kind of expose what he was doing.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an amazing human being. Like the nicest guy I've ever met. And
hardworking.
Hardworking, and he wants to shred. Like, he's fun to shred with because he's frothing still, and he just wants people to build for. He's like, yeah, bring guys up here. I'll build whatever you want. And he's just he really put it succinctly about how, you know, the snowboard and ski industry kind of universally says, like, oh, you like to ski or you like to snowboard, like, okay, well, we're going to pay you a lot less than industry standard anywhere else because you like to
you love it.
You like something that's here. But like, if you're a lifty, you're not snowboarding, you're standing in the snow, so you should get paid whatever someone who stands around getting freezing all day gets paid, you know, danger pay or whatever it is. It seems universal in skiing and snowboarding that if you work in the industry, they're like, oh, you get gear, so you can factor that into your pay. It's
Yeah,
like,
you were in Japan. Like, who wouldn't want to be in Japan? But it's like I think back, not that we need to do that big of a sidebar on that, but like I look back at the filmers we had, in particular Hayden Ranch, who we were with for years. But we would go, when we filmed Beacon, we went to Japan for a month.
yeah,
And I don't think we took a single day off.
right. That's
And-
crazy.
And years prior for Deja Vu videos, we would just be filming every single day nonstop.
Of
He would be
course.
away from home for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
For like a few thousands a month.
Yeah,
Like nothing else in the world pays that little.
nothing. Right. And then and everyone, including your friends that are like, everybody's just like, yeah, we love it. So
Yeah, and that's something I've been, again, that's a sidebar, but I've been reflecting on the dynamics of people that are out filming video parts.
yeah,
Like as riders, you work with filmers, but as just between riders, like the disparity in the budgets,
yeah,
how much they make, how much they have available to do these things.
yeah,
Yet, like in my case, I was probably making like a quarter of some of my friends were making, or actually zero at some point.
right.
But it's a very like a socialist system when you're there. It's like we all put the same amount of energy. We pool our resources to a degree to do these things.
Oh, cool.
But
yeah.
at least that's how it starts as kids. But then as it grows, like some people are actually making a living off of it. You're not quite. So you're like, kind of like, it's encouraging to see your friends making it. You're like, oh, there's a pathway. Like we're going to do this. But you're literally working for them.
Right.
At that point, once they start making a living, every shovel load you do for them, you're allowing them to make a living off of it.
Yeah.
And they're allowing you to do your hobby.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they're doing the same thing, but
Yeah.
every
yeah.
shovel load you do for that person is straight up like, this is securing your next contract.
Right. Right.
And you do it out of love because it's your friend, and that's just how it's always been. But then over the years, it creates this strange thing that's never being talked about.
Sure.
Especially because you're young. Like it's
Yeah. When I watched that Red Seal movie and you're talking about this, I'm like, it seemed like Craig probably was getting paid, and he got to choose some people he likes to travel with, to bring along with him. And if you look, like if you were just a innocent bystander that saw the movie and had to choose like who's the best snowboarder, like they were all on par there, right? Adam Franks rips, dude.
You know, it's
Rips.
an interesting fact that I think not enough people credit Craig for, aside from being nice, involving people that maybe wouldn't get that chance in other situations, is that for what he does for a living, what he gets paid for is not to film video parts.
Right.
But he has the chance to ask for budget to do so. So it's just because he wants to do it.
Yeah.
No one's there like waiting to see his new performance.
Right.
Like as far as his sponsors are concerned,
Right.
he does the broadcasting and all. Like
He's a
mega
famous
star.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's a very
so
famous
it's,
person.
I think and he works so hard. He's one of my favorite to go out with snowboarding because he's just so hungry and
He's got a really good style, and he's got a really good attitude.
But
He's
just
very
in the sense, like
professional.
in another way, I've seen people that would be considered core snowboarders that as soon as their travel budget was ending, let's say it's like early April, and they're like, oh, I'm out of budget. Instead of carrying on because, it's a few more weeks, let's go, they'd just be like, oh, I'm done.
Dude,
Or same in December, my next check is 1st of January, so I'm not filming all of December.
yeah.
Like there's people who think like that.
Oh, dude, there was people like, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm 10 years ahead of you, 5, 10. There were people, Vancouver pros, big ones, that were like, I don't go out unless there's a camera. Like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going unless we're going to make money. It's my job. And I was like, holy shit. You don't want to just go because it's a good day? Like, it's sunny and it's a
Yeah.
Bluebird day, and you don't have to, like, shoot with anyone, just come up and we'll ride the chairlifts together, you know?
Yeah, I guess what I was saying might be misinterpreted as we should only do it because we get paid. That's not really what I'm saying. It's more
Right.
like how strange of a dynamic that is, and because of course we do it anyways.
Yeah.
But it's like your friend wants you to help him paint his house.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're gonna go. But if you find out that you're painting his house because he wants to sell it, or because he's gonna do an Airbnb with it,
Yeah, right.
you're like,
right.
okay, I'm gonna give you my time for you to make a business. Like,
Yeah.
you should include me in your business expense. Is kind of what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Just in order to be fair.
Yeah, because there's yeah. Absolutely.
But if it's their first house and they're gonna live in it, they're gonna have a kid, whatever it is, and they need help.
yeah.
Like, I'm the first one there, but when it comes to the work part, I think it's very important to recognize it and stop saying like, oh no, you got to do it for the love. Like, of course that we're doing it for the love. Like, don't ever even suggest that it's not for the love.
Right. Yeah. I'm
Who would be moving snow for a living?
Right.
If it wasn't for love.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm struggling with that a little bit with the kid who built my website. I've got a website live after 11 seasons of building this thing. And he did a great job. It's Parker. He did the airtime one for the love. You know, he was in school. He's like, hey, can I do this for you for my school project or whatever? And he built a really nice website for Jody. And he came to me and said, do you want one? And I said, yeah. And then I was being like, don't ever let people take advantage of you, you know? Make sure you bill for every hour that you work on it. And then he came and told me how many hours he worked on it. I was like, well, maybe you should do a little for the love, you know? I kind of have a cap on how much I can spend.
I've got stickers for you.
Yeah. How do you feel about getting a pair of Vans boots or maybe some Burton outerwear? What is there, you know? And he loves snowboarding. So it's tempting for me to be like, shit, what if I got you a board, you know? Would that be worth maybe $500 to you? So I'm not suggesting that's how the companies see. Oh, maybe I am a little. Like, they're like, hey, you get to snowboard. We make good snowboards.
I mean, you can make any deals. Any deal can be a good deal.
Yep.
But it's more like if you, as long as people are, both parties are comfortable with it.
That's what you have to. It's
especially the person who put the work.
Yeah, it's got to be good communication up front. You can't change the game after the negotiations. Like, oh, hey, we join our team. We're really good.
We're a family.
We're a family. You're never going anywhere. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Isn't that gnarly? That's the gnarliest one. Is like, yeah, join us.
Shit.
If you're picking some other... If you're picking...
We're getting rain.
I felt one a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
It's like patchy. I see the moon still.
You tell me if it
Yeah.
becomes too much.
If it gets gnarly, we'll pack it up. But yeah, the family thing is crazy when it's used as a tool to get you to choose a team over another team. This is your life.
Or choose less money, basically, and then blame, and then kind of hold that against you, saying, hey, like, I thought you were in the family, but what you need to understand is your team manager does not necessarily take one for the team. The sales reps and everyone above you, past the rider, is getting paid a living wage, potentially paid by the hour, potentially, a salary that gets renegotiated every year, rarely to the downside.
Right.
Where snowboarders, it's like expected that you're supposed to take the pay cut.
I have never thought about that. Like, I've never been at any job ever where they're like, we had a shit year this year, we're going to give you a pay cut. Like, it's just, we're going to lay some people off. That's happened.
Or the price of peanut butter never really goes to the downside.
No, that stuff always just goes up.
So why should other things? Anyways,
No, you have a really good perspective on it because you've lived it. You know what I mean?
And honestly, it's because as much as I despise the industry, I would love for it to be better and be a healthy place for people to be in it for their whole career. As someone who is professional at what they do, like, you've been snowboarding for 20 years professionally, you're only better than you were. So why should you start suggesting that so and so is no longer worth that money they're more efficient at what they do.
Yeah,
Like,
skateboarding.
Chris Razman is
yeah.
as good as he's ever going to be right now, and potentially he's going to keep being good for another 10 years. Devin Walsh proved it.
Right.
You know, like, so anyone who comes at him saying, I think now you're worth a little less because you've been on the team for 20 years, it makes no sense. It's not a good rational.
Right.
Like, he no longer needs to be held by the hand now. He's the one that's holding people's hands. You know, like, the definition of being a professional.
Yeah.
So people should be paid accordingly. Not because you're the new hype as the most hype kid. Like, that's not what makes you a professional.
Yeah, why do companies have that idea that that's what'll work? Seems like
it's because the 20-year-old doesn't charge as much.
Right.
Like,
so you get the new kid who's hype has potential,
like
but
$2,000 a month is a lot for them. And
but
in a way, it's like,
yeah, but
if you're now an adult, you might have a kid, you might have a mortgage, whatever. Like, companies don't want to be responsible for those payments for their pro riders as much as saying we're gonna subsidize your living a little bit to the 20-year-old. You know, that's much easier to suggest to a young kid, here's a little bit of money and jump down the stairs.
Yeah, that's the problem with financial incentives, is that the payer is always trying to take advantage of the payee, and then the payee is, you know, if you're in something like snowboarding where you're also doing it for the love, then yeah, there's no reciprocal way for you to, like, oh, I'm gonna not compete as hard for these guys because they've decided not to pay me what I'm worth. It's like you're just going for it.
It's just like college basketball or college football. They don't get paid. Everyone around them get paid, but not them.
Yeah, don't they kind of cheat on that one? Give them cars and things.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's
a
broken system.
Yeah, they're not allowed to. Right. Well, money incentives just kind of ruin competitive things. Here's one last thing, unless it starts to really rain here. I think I see stars still.
I know, it's trippy.
We'll get a little passing thing. Sports betting has gone into regular sports deep now. Like, it's the announcers are talking about, ooh, if you bet that all bases would be loaded in the third inning, you would be getting paid out 10-1 right now, or, you know, like, that's what's happening. Could you see something like natural selection that's bringing
for sure looking
stuff into the mainstream, like getting like betting? I wouldn't. If I would have bet on any of them, I would have lost money, all of them.
But it's not about you. They don't want anyone to win. That's not.
No, of course.
Like, it's funny. I was watching a YouTube video today that was talking about the how everything is being gamblified.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen.
Well, if you had
and it's terrible. Anyone who says this is gonna be an additive to it, something positive, no. It's
our whole lives, gambling on sports was against the law. It was like the area of like bookies and the mafia and like bad people.
Yeah, that's how you kill any legit scene if it isn't dead yet.
Right. It's start betting on it. And then, yeah, because then it's just corruptible.
Yeah. There's more money to be made doing anything aside winning.
So sick. All right.
I don't even.
We got to call it, man.
Yeah.
This is if you bet that it was going to rain an hour into the thing, you should
have told you. I looked at the forecast.
10 to 1. No.
Well, we barely touched on
anything. Even the thing, I don't think we got to the last thing that I even had on my list. It's good to hear how you got involved with. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the Uninvited Invitational, which is one of the most uplifting events in snowboard history ever. It's like as the world is going to shit all around us, there's like these bright light points where it's moving in the right direction, and Jess is proving, look, if we put the money there, we get the involvement, and she's just been doing that for so long.
Yeah, this is just her new vehicle to do what she's done forever. And I think the coolest thing about it is it seems to be rewarding. I don't want to say the right people. Everyone is the right people, but like it makes a very noticeable difference in people's lives.
Cool.
Everyone at all level involved with the event.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, it's their first time out of their country and whatever, or first time hitting a rail with no stairs, with stairs, or like very street style, whatever it is. Like, yeah, it's a first for a lot of people, and the best chance for them to be noticed. And it's Jess basically yelling, saying, "Watch this." So that's kind of what it takes. Like, imagine if back in the days, JP Walker walked around and made his personality of like, I'll be the one telling you who's to watch soon, like who's next,
sick.
you know, like.
Yeah.
But that was never a thing that snowboarding really did. Very few snowboarders did that.
Right, because it was across sponsorships and all sorts of things. Right,
and
there was incentive.
You're shooting yourself in the foot, really.
Yeah. You're bringing up the people that are going to supplant you as a person.
Yeah.
That a value in the community, right?
And so that's literally what that event is for, is to be in a way as selfless as possible. And thankfully the riders are acting like that too toward each other as much as I think you can do in a contest setting.
Feels like a community thing, and people are like,
I'm definitely not on the starting bump with them. I'm sure it's a little bit. It's competitive. It's a contest. It's hard.
It's tense too. Like there's legitimate shit there that they're doing.
And the level is just so insane, honestly. Like,
yeah.
And that's, yeah. Every year, it just blows our mind.
Yeah. So it's been 2 years, right?
3.
3 now.
For the Invitational.
And is it affiliated with one venue? It's been the same place?
We've kind of...
Was it Boreal? Where was it?
Well, we did the first one at Boreal, and that wasn't with the intention of having any kind of partnership,
right,
or anything.
Boreal's rad, though.
It was almost my pick because just the nostalgia of what Boreal represents to the snowboard industry.
Totally.
To then realize that Tahoe is not the scene that it used to be.
Okay.
You know, after going there, we're like, oh shit, like it's not popping. Maybe there's too many hills. You know. In a sense, like to draw a crowd was a little difficult.
Oh, okay. No, you know what? I think that it was just the timing. Like, people aren't going out to live events as much.
I mean, it is out of the way. So anyways, we did it there. It was great. Perfect weather. Great crew. We did what we expected to do, and it was sick. But all my friends were like, you got to do it at Woodwork Park City.
Oh,
like, it's so close to the city. It's just convenient. It's great. No. So as soon as we finished the first event, I went back to Salt Lake to hang out, met with the people at Woodwork Park City, visited the shop. Everyone was excited. And that was just like unofficial site inspection. And I guess the word kind of spread within the business. They called Jess, big meeting with all the leaders at Woodward, and it kind of became a partner in that sense, because the people... I don't think there's anything written, but I don't do contracts, but they've just been so helpful. They're basically a part of our team in the way we operate. So it's...
Yeah, and Boreal's Woodward as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the first place I saw, this could take over the world. Like, where you've got things that match up inside into foam pits, that the pitch of the takeoff and the size is similar to what you're going to feel on the snow. Like, you're going to create some uber athletes out of that type of training, where the parents can just drop them off Monday to Friday after school for 4 hours, just like...
Yeah, and the one at Park City, that's the thing. It's 20 minutes outside of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it's right there.
So and it's small. I didn't want to do it. I never want... Not that it's my call.
Yeah.
But when I get to say my 2 cents, it's like, we're not going to a big hill, to a big resort. Let's make sure it's always at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, you don't need to wear boots even if you want to go watch.
That's cool.
And you don't even need to know it's happening to be like, oh, what's this? You know?
Yeah.
So make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah, if it was a tour, you could do one Calgary, you could do one Seymour, you could do one...
Yeah, but we're doing more than just that, but it's hard with snowboarding season being so many months. There's something going on every weekend.
Absolutely.
So to add more just dilutes what you end up having for riders.
Yeah,
for
and
attention
the big
even.
payout's really important. Like the big incentives bring
and
everybody from everywhere. Yeah.
Doing too much just makes it less of a special thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think there's been many examples of that in our industry. Things that grew big and then it's like, well, who cares now?
Yeah.
Because it's no longer just an annual.
Totally.
So, but my involvement in that was simply just working with Jess on a personal level, being her builder, or filmer, or whatever. And just when she was working on the films, I was next to her with a lot of that, working on the edits, filmed some stuff, built a lot of stuff. So the Uninvited I was always very much involved with that movement. And when the event started, it was, of course, I was going to be the builder. It was kind of, or see how much I can get involved, really, because we didn't really know the first year. We thought we were just going to hand them the drawings. They were going to do it, and I'll be there to kind of touch stuff up and just be kind of like a consultant or whatever.
Yeah, make sure that things match up.
Yeah, just whatever. But what happened when I showed up at Boreal very first day, we're just chatting, and then I ended up staying with them and caught a ride back, and I'm just chatting with the manager of the park, and we're talking as he's driving me back home, and I tell him I know how to weld. I went to school for that, all that. He's like, oh shit, you're probably the most knowledgeable in the shop then. You should be welding tomorrow.
Oh wow. So I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So I ended up just working in the shop for a week before we got on snow. And
how dope is that?
I had my camper was parked right next to the shop at Boreal.
Yeah.
And that was all unexpected. But that became now what is my plan. Now that's how I operate. So at Park City, Woodwork Park City, I'm just parked right next to the shop for a month straight, building everything. And then a week, 10 days before the event, we start getting on snow and put the stuff there.
So sick.
Yeah, it's pretty magical.
It's a big event. How many people show up? Like, I mean, competitors,
riders. I'm not sure. Between 60 and 90, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
it looked like
sure.
about 100 was what I would have guessed.
The first year I had more people. I think we're going to have to fine-tune the amount of people just to allow for a better flow of riding.
Yeah.
Details like that. We're always trying to improve their experience to end up with the better or the best outcome for riding.
Yeah, like Crush's events. Like, you can tell when you're riding that stuff that he's, he really likes to keep a tight rein on what's going on there, but that's out of experience of so many years of how he wants the thing to go.
Like, for example, in previous years, they had to hike up. They could take the chair or hike up.
Yeah.
And last year we lined it up so they could use the magic carpet. And so it would reduce the time by half. And in the finals, they had sled laps.
Yep. That's perfect.
So that's better. But at the same time, because it was so fast to get back up, they would wait longer up top.
Yeah,
so
that's what happens. Even
if they did more laps at the end of the session, they felt like they waited longer. So it's just things like that are very interesting, because
that's cool.
In reality, they did more tries, but the feeling of waiting can actually work against you.
Yeah, you get cold, you get more nervous.
Or, you just think about that. You're like, fuck, I want to go. It's different than at your own pace hiking, and everyone's dropping in, and it's like a more organic
that
pace.
Thought when you're walking up and you're looking and you're like, okay, you kind of see, there's a little rut in the landing there. I'm gonna go away from that.
It's even with the next rider,
right?
So there's never lineups. So it's stuff like that we're just trying to fine tune and make sure that whatever it takes to create the best results.
Yeah, jam format always felt the best back in the day when I competed very little, but definitely waiting around sucks the most. That's a big thing that sucks at contests.
Well, because you're nervous,
Yeah.
You just want to go where you have to wait.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It unfortunately, it has to be a contest.
Yeah.
But that's why we do 2 days qualifier.
And that's
qualifier
more jam
is kind
format,
of like everything's a jam, but it's more like we invite a lot of people that we know won't win.
Sure.
But the goal is that we believe everyone has something to that they can bring to the event. They get the chance to get cool clips, like just similar to Nixon Jib Fest. It's like not everyone has to go to win, but you might just do one thing that stands out, and who knows, that photo might be used in the magazines.
That's cool.
Because we don't make a difference in then what we end up with, like all the photos, all the clips. We're not only using the winners for the recap,
Of course.
or for the whatever gets distributed afterwards.
Yep.
And Jess makes a big thing with all the photos, all the clips, all get labeled and sent out to all the riders.
So dope. That's huge.
Like that's, I don't know if it's unique, but like that's a big thing. She wants to make sure that they come out of that with photos that they can.
Dude, of course that's unique. Like, you've ridden with friends, man. Sometimes you can't even get the clip of yourself from your buddy.
I know, but I don't know like how it works at X Games. Maybe X Games does it.
Oh God, no!
Like,
there's no way.
I'm not going to speculate.
Clips to the X Games don't seem to give a shit about the riders. To me, I don't know. I'm not a contest.
I'm not there, so
knowledgeable
I don't
person.
know. But
Jess just has it dialed in that she's
like, she could make a lot more money through it.
Right.
But chooses to keep it so that whoever wins the most in the end is each and every riders. Like, they're the winners.
Yeah.
They're the ones who need to make something out of that.
It's
like,
what she would have loved to have when she was coming up to ride, right? And she would have done. She would have cleaned up at that shit.
Yeah, but maybe if she had had that, then she wouldn't be who she is now. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Fine.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that's as yeah. The whole thing is just a big unknown, right? And we see the way that challenges work on different people, personalities. Some people step to it. Some people are motivated by it. Some people are beaten down by it. Some people won't stop talking about it. That, oh, this happened to them. I wish.
I mean, she doesn't really want to talk about that all the time. It's just kind of like people always want her to explain it again.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story again? So she has to kind of stick to the story. I don't think she's excited to keep saying how hard life has been. Like, that's not what she thrives on.
Right.
But it's just a lot of people are asking, I guess.
Well, it's cool that we're talking about her, because it seems to an outsider watching that something changed it from when she was a kid and she was so determined and so up against the world, that now she appears to be enjoying snowboarding, enjoying, going riding and shooting photos and providing for the next generation something so fucking cool.
But this is a lot more work than
of
any
course.
other thing she's ever taken on.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because there's, of course, the big one
Yeah.
in Utah, but we're doing one in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And there could be another one in the summer somewhere. So there's
Holy
so
smokes.
many moving parts. There's really never time off, and she's a workaholic. So it's a full-time job.
That's rad.
But again, she still doesn't pay herself doing it.
Yeah, so even so we can't say it's the industry. We've chose to say, well, hey, I like this. I like doing snowboarding, so I'll take less pay because on some level, that's why I do the podcast. Like, I don't need the pay. I like having conversations with snowboarders. I like snowboarding. Like, that's the bottom line. And
If
sure,
you
but
can't
I know what
do
you
the
mean.
podcast because you have to work, then you're not doing it. So you got to find a way to subsidize that thing that you want to do the most.
It's smart to do it, but yeah, for me,
but without compromising what your original goal was. Right. That's the definition of trying not to sell out.
That's absolutely it.
And it's a very tough balance always, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard to know what the right effort in what direction is. You know what I mean? Usually every summer I'm like, I need that break that I take, and there's a point where I go, I fucking might not do this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I get to choose. Like, no one's got a gun to my head. This isn't the only thing I could do for money. You know what I mean? especially the little amount of money I'm making. It's not like a life-changing amount of money. It's not even a job. Then the season changes and the snow starts to fall, and God, I'm gonna get to talk to fucking Ben again. That's awesome. Like that moment we had at the Burton party, where we just talked for like 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, I just love talking about snowboarding with people that live their life in that realm, in the vicinity of it. Especially people that get to do like such different things from what I'm doing. I'm riding grouse or going to Seymour and trying to get a clip of you guys or whatever.
Well, you're kind of the North Shore mascot, is who you are. You know, in a way,
yeah, sure.
You're the hype person. You're like the communication.
I like it.
You're very much in the media in a way, because you're aware of what happened. I don't know. At least you hear stuff, and I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like it.
But basically, my point about getting paid and all that bullshit, like, I would prefer if we didn't need money to live.
Me too.
You know?
Me too.
But we're in this world, and I wish that the great ones within our culture and industry didn't have to leave to make a living.
Oh, God,
and
me
I think
too.
if we were able to
Kevin Young or somebody, they just like...
I mean, snowboarders, I think, people who perform, I think it's also normal that they might want to chase different things. There's
like
that
Trevor
too.
Andrew, like
you want to chase a
It was
different
cool to
challenge.
watch him do other stuff, for sure.
But like photographers saying, I can no longer survive within this industry. I must move to something else, and then never will they ever come back, because they're like, this is insane. I do a day here and it's a month wage in snowboarding. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. And how many of the best cinematographers did we lose that way? Or like what could our industry be if everyone had gotten a fair share? You know, that's kind of what I wonder. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm like, what could anything be if everyone got paid properly? And that's kind of the utopia of talking about socialism in a way. It's like, what can we be if we don't have to be so concerned about paying bills?
I can tell you,
like, we would all be so much more creative and happy and present and all that. So anyways, we don't need to go that far, but that's kind of the idea. And snowboarding, there's plenty of money. When people talk about how there's not the money there used to be, it's simply because now all these businesses are multinationals that need to make a certain amount of profit and share those profits with the shareholders. Yeah. So it's not based on, is the company making money? It has to grow year after year after year. Yep. And eternal growth is not something that's actually possible.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. And anytime I hear in any podcast or anywhere saying the money is not the same, it's like, no, it's just going in the wrong pockets.
Going to different pockets, for sure. Yeah, I just done 2 years with no job, working towards that socialist utopia or whatever you're talking about. Like, just like, what would life be like if you didn't have the pressure of like bills coming up that are above what, like, you have to work a job, you know,
doing something you don't want to do.
Oh, absolutely.
And putting aside all the stuff you actually want to do.
And
as a person, not like, we're not talking sitting on the couch. We're talking like, what would you do if you could do whatever you want?
Right. Exactly.
And everything would turn into some sort of job. I'm lucky enough that what I've always said when people are like, what would be your dream job? I'd be like, shoveling snow.
Sure.
But in my mind, it didn't make sense, so I didn't say it out loud for forever.
Right. Right.
But luck, I don't know, out of luck, I was able to be around people who had a little bit of money with natural selection, and kind of these things just made me feel comfortable enough to say, okay, I will try to make that a job.
I think we are lucky enough that we found something like snowboarding where such a large number of the participants in that do it are creative and are example setters, right? Like that, like Martin, for example. Martin was like so ahead of the curve on, you know, just like moving to Whistler, becoming a pro, you know, like getting shots and being in movies. He was in those crazy, like, creatures of habit movies and stuff, like with those Tahoe guys shooting guns and jumping off huge cliffs. But he, from my understanding of it, he always gave back to the community, or he always brought up the people that he could into, like, here's how you do it. Here are the zones. Let's make our own movies, actually. If they're not going to put us in theirs, we make our own. It's cool. So there's been a lot of examples of people that just do what they want to do. And so shoveling snow is like an actual job. Recording interviews with people out by a fire in the rain is like, can be a job. I've thought that a lot the last 2 years. Like, why
you just gotta speak to the right person that will believe in it and be like, yes, I see value in this.
Yeah. And actually, on some level, just do it. A lot of like really great artists just did art.
A lot of great artists were rich kids.
A lot of great artists were rich kids.
So
yeah.
I'm lucky enough that like the person who's giving me the most jobs is my best friend. So it helps.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm saying I'm lucky. I could have been the same builder but not be best friend with Jess.
Yep.
This would not exist for me.
Right.
So that's,
and would you be still happy, living shoveling snow in Quebec and working like some sort of job and building like a backyard park that's so insane? Yeah, probably would.
Knows? Yeah, I mean,
happiness wise,
it's just cool to. I don't know if you remember it a few years ago. It was kind of trendy online, like just do what you want to do, like motivation speaker.
Yes.
There was a lot of pages like that for a while, and I was really getting frustrated with my other job, tiling.
Yeah.
And just feeling like it doesn't matter how much time you give, you're building houses for billionaires. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing 60 hours a week, getting paid 40, all that stuff? And
totally.
It was kind of with that energy, that frustration there, validation from certain parts of the snow industry, and Jess growing her business, like all things kind of fell in place, kind of all at the right time for me in that sense.
That's rad.
But and my dad didn't say that often, but he was like, "Are you sure?"
Right.
But I mean,
because he cares about you.
He didn't press, but he was like asking, and that was the first time he's ever said that. Because with the tiling company, I was doing pretty good, like getting more and more involved and important within the company.
Yeah.
I could have taken it over if this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I had no interest in sacrificing my living to create houses for people who barely live in it up in Whistler. You know, that's not something it's fun to do. I work with great people, but the final product and hand it out to billionaires is not something that I value as like a vocation in life.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at the end of your life, are you going to look back and be like, oh, I wish I tiled more millionaire houses? Or, are you, following your heart, really? Like Vans was talking about it in the word authenticity or whatever. They were kind of like, hey, you got to be Vans, authentic, kind of. And there's some serious wisdom there.
But you can only be authentic if you can afford it.
That's a big deal. You can squeeze yourself to be comfortable with less. I've been doing it for 2 years. And just be like, hey, wait, I'm authentically not the guy who needs to eat at a restaurant all the time.
I guess you're not that far down. You know what I mean?
No,
like you have a level of comfort that you're still able to maneuver within that range. But I'm just saying, like, there's people who really struggle, and free will and choice of life is not even in the cards. You would bring it up and they would slap you in the face.
It's so rude to say.
Saying
it's
like,
so
hey,
rude
you can
to
just be positive and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
They'd say, get out of here,
Yeah, that's an arrogant and privileged
and
position.
snowboarding kind of says that
about.
often, like talking about certain riders, saying, oh, you left your home when you were 14 and you did this, whatever. Like you're a snowboarder from where, and now you live where, and how strong of you. And you're like, yeah, but they never had to pay a single bill in their lives. Of course they were able to spend that much time at the hill learning tricks.
Right.
And yes, they start at 25, but you know, they never had to pay a single thing. You know, they just had to focus on what they wanted to do, which is great. But this is what I wish on everyone, not just the ones that their parents work in the oil industry, you know?
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I definitely, you mentioned the word comfort in there, and I pretty quickly, when I didn't have a job and was just thinking about like, okay, do I need to go back to a job? Like, what do I do? What is it that I want from life? Like, that was a real question at 50 years old that I'm going, what do I want? And then I'm like thinking, I'm making my list mentally or writing it down. And the word comfort kept coming up, you know, comfort. What? Okay, I want comfort. Why do I want comfort? Well, because it's comfortable. It's better than being uncomfortable. And then I was like, but wait a minute. Without discomfort, then the comfort doesn't really mean anything anyway.
Yeah, because that rain, like it just moves.
I want experience. So I want uncomfortable experiences and comfortable experiences, but I do like comfort. And so
discomfort is, I mean, it's different. It's just, you can go camping and be just uncomfortable for 2 days and be like, oh, that was great, we challenged ourselves. But
yes.
if that's the reality you have to be in for the rest of your life, you're like,
yeah, if you
I
lose your
want
house
this.
and you're out camping because you have nowhere else to live,
that's
it's
different.
not as good.
So it's kind of like, that's what we're talking, like you're still comfortable. You chose to go challenge yourself.
Yes.
But you're still comfortable.
And so my big challenge while I was, you know, acclimatizing to not having a job, I can get a job to pay to be more comfortable. So it just costs money and I get more comfortable things. Okay, that's cool. Or I can work a little with all this spare time I have on making things that are uncomfortable for me right now a little more comfortable.
No, that's a reality of. I was talking with Alex O'Shue.
Yep. Vans guy. Is he still at Vans?
I think so. But
Dope.
he was at Martin's place, and he was saying that when he moved to BC and he started meeting people from here, he was like, holy shit, we're not living the same reality of like what it means to want to be a pro and make a living off of snowboarding and like the intensity. And because I was telling him how I guess I really took it as a job in a sense, like, because I knew that if I didn't do that, I'd have to go do something else. I don't know if that's how everyone else saw it or whatever, but so for me, it was important to be professional at it and be serious when we go out. We're not just talking about girls or like getting drunk, whatever. Like,
right,
we're working, we're shoveling, and I'm also expecting that from everyone in the crew, kind of. Not being a bitch, but like, I don't think I had all the words to really explain what I was trying to say there. And back then, when I was 20, 22, whatever.
Right.
And I don't know. I just, for me, that's my life. Snowboarding is my life, and now it's my chance to make a living off of it. So of course, I'm going to be a little bit intense sometimes because I want it to work.
Yep.
I'm gonna want the jump to be perfect. And I guess I needed things to be clear, well built, and well explained. What's the plan? I needed that to be comfortable in what I was doing. And not everyone was like that. And I think for a lot of people, maybe they had backup plans in life. And for them, snowboarding was just what they did right now. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But the more I grow within snowboarding, the more I realize that the majority of the people involved come from a little bit more money.
Okay.
So like,
yeah, that makes sense.
They're like, this is not working out is not that big a deal.
They have a backup plan, or they've got a place they can have a nice soft landing if
they can go back to somewhere, to something.
Yeah.
And I never felt like, I don't know, I was never that nervous about money, but also I was just, if you're doing something, you're doing it fully, you know?
Yeah, you have a very particular personality from the limited amount that I know about you, or the limited amount of time we've spent together.
That's the trucks I was telling you about.
People with diesel trucks just like going home after work at 8 at night.
Valley people, I guess.
Valley. Yeah.
Well,
on
about
the valley.
you heard a highway a little bit here.
Yeah.
It could be a Harley. Who knows?
That's crazy. Yeah, Valley guy. My wife's cousin has a nice spot out in the valley. Actually, right next to Martin's old, like where he had the horses. He was their next door neighbor. Then he sold that one to get the Tofino Surf House, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that much about him, but I definitely know that him and Andre Dallaire, Felix's dad, were like really important people in Canadian snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like in setting it up the way that it is.
Well, I wasn't that close to Martin when he created his reputation, I guess.
Right.
Like, I came in a little late at that, but we had Musique Plus in Quebec, which is like the French version of Much Music, which is MTV basically.
Yeah.
And they had one of the show was like sports thing, and they would often go to Whistler or be at snowboard events and stuff like that. And Martin would often be interviewed.
Oh wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I mean, because that was like peak gathering years.
Yep.
And I don't know, he was just like a character.
He's a
So
character.
from a distance, I
Yeah.
already knew who he was, and he was talking about how he started the gathering and he was such a salesman. Like French Canadians are the best, so that's why we're making, like, they're the best in the world. We're just gonna make a video with those guys, and like we don't need anyone else, whatever.
Cool.
He just seemed like such a believer in anything he did.
Yes.
At the moment, if that's what he does, this is the best thing ever.
Yep.
If surfing is good right now and he's surfing it, he's like, this is the best surf.
Yeah.
Like, just like fully sold on what he's currently into.
I like that.
And I think that's quite magical, very childish in a way,
Mm-hmm.
especially for like a 50-year-old person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think he was probably like that the whole time, very convincing. Hey, we're going there,
yeah.
and we're gonna do this like that. Boom.
Absolutely. He was the kind of guy that would kick in the door at oh, you're the Kemper rep? I'm going to ride for Kemper. I'm your guy. Like, and it works.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, that guy's got a lot of
You're like,
confidence. Holy shit.
Yes.
I didn't even realize we needed that. He was getting paid from O'Neill Canada, O'Neill USA, and O'Neill Europe. He had 3 sponsors with one outerwear. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible. He get 3 different checks from one company.
He just understood the game early. I think it's kind of what it is.
Yeah. And you know what? If he didn't understand, from what I understood talking with him, you know, like when he started to build his Decaban, he had an idea in his head. He's like, I'm just going to salvage logs and I'm going to build it. And then
I found someone who could teach him how to do it.
someone just saw him doing it and was like, dude, you need me to tell you how to do it. And he went, what do you mean? He goes, look, just come work for me. I'll pay you and you'll learn how to do it. And that's how it happened for him. I find I have that same salesman, childish energy. Like, we bought some property down in Belize and I'm like, it's just going to work because it's like, it just is.
I mean, that's kind of, I guess that's the mentality you need to try to become a pro snowboarder.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And,
right.
And I guess, I don't know if it's just a Canadian thing, but you're not supposed to hype yourself up.
No, that's
That was like a thing.
crazy. I still don't do it with the show.
And I was having a conversation with when we drove down. It was Razman, Jody, and Sean Miskimen.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
we were just chatting snowboarding, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys feel the same, that we're not supposed to hype ourselves, obviously, but our friends? We're supposed to, when someone asks a question about who influenced us, we're supposed to kind of point outside our friends group, because it's like not fair. Like, oh, you're just, of course it's your friend, you're going to say their name. And I feel like maybe it's a Quebec thing, maybe it's a Canadian thing, maybe it's just me, I don't know. But it was never allowed to say my favorite snowboarder is my friend.
Right.
Or who impresses you the most is your friend. You had to kind of prove that you're able to see past that. And because I tried to hype some of them to get some of my friends on some of my teams at some point, and years after years saying, hey, Frank April is sick, like we should have him on. He's riding for the Canadian level, like we should have him on. Nothing ever moved until an American hyped him up, and then instantly he was on the pro team.
Right.
But nothing I could ever say about my friends would ever have an impact on the outcome.
I think, you're reminding me of Jeff Fulton got Craig Kelly into snowboarding, and then Jeff became a judge early on. Like he was part of the first generation of snowboarding contest judges that were snowboarders. You know what I mean? Because it was obvious it had to happen. They would sometimes just get like ski patrol to do it. It really was like nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And so as contests got more organized and there were World Cups and there was stuff at stake, and maybe I'm changing the story in my mind saying it so many times, but I feel like Jeff Fulton said, there were times where Craig maybe beat Palmer, but he just couldn't put that down on paper because Craig was his friend. He's like, I have to judge him a little more harshly, like pick the flaw versus see the like thing that he did so well, just because I don't want anybody to say, oh, Craig is only winning because Fulton's the judge.
Yeah.
So I think that struggle is real because you care, right? You actually care.
But it's weird because in the United States, it's like assume that you're going to bring your friend.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see those guys, they're like,
right.
Because I was listening to a Bridges interview that he did with the Nemo design guys. I think it's recent. Maybe it isn't.
Oh, it's pretty recent.
Every time he's listing names that he got to work with him at Snowboarder Mag, he would say another East Coaster. Yeah, another East Coaster. And for those guys, it is normal to be proud to bring your own. Yeah. Where for us, if we do that, it discredits any. Right. It's like nepotism at its worst.
Think about team managers, and I'm thinking of one in particular that came to a big company, fired everybody that was there, the established pros of that company, and that's how they got their job. They said, "Look, if you hire me as a team manager, I'll fire I'll fix all the problems that you've made for yourself." But really, what he did was he fired the team.
And got all of his friends on?
And all his friends got on. And if he changed companies...
Are you uncomfortable saying the name?
Yeah, totally I am.
Okay.
But he's proud of it. Like, he said it publicly. Like, he was like, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd fire everyone on the team. And I'd get you the best team that you've ever had. And
Isn't that what Blue said at K2?
That's correct. Yeah.
A lot of people came in at K2 saying that.
Right. Because
or at least that was kind of
the room. That's who gets to run that team, right? It's interesting that's how it would be in the States. I can't think of that happening in Canada. Did that happen with team managers in Canada?
Can't. Your opinion gets dismissed if you're too biased.
If you're just there bringing your friends on and everybody's like
and I'm sure some people still do it, but it's I mean, maybe it's just in our little world over there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it was just like even making our own videos. Like when we did the first Deja Vu, it was just our core crew. Yeah. And then the second year, we were kind of asked to include more people. And that's how Jake Kuzik and Dylan Ojo were involved in the video.
Right.
Because it was like, we don't want to be seen as like exclusive.
Nepotistic. When
in fact, like all of the other crews are very much like that and pride themselves in like we're just a tight group of friends and that's why it's just us, right? And it's fully understood and appreciated. But for us, if we did that and I mean, in fact, the result is that we all lost our jobs after those two films.
Wow.
For the majority,
Yeah.
So in reality, when we did that, it was a career suicide.
That's crazy. Right. Yeah, I've never really looked at it like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, that's...
I feel like I've seen that dynamic in different, like guys from Australia seem to be so much more, almost bullies about it, right? Like,
Australia?
yeah, to New Zealanders. And so like the US to Canada is very similar to this like kind of like Australian to New Zealand thing where there's like this kind of smaller brother complex or something.
In the US, it's basically the from my interpretation is they always give themselves the option to dismiss. They can always pretend they didn't know. Oh, we didn't see it. We didn't.
Right.
No, we don't. But then when you listen to anyone list their favorite snowboarders, odds are there's at least 2 Canadians.
Yeah.
At the very least, or people that are listed as influential.
Oh God.
Devin's name will always come up. You
Yeah.
know? Louis' name will always come up. Jess' name, MFR, Annie Boulanger, like, and I'm gonna stop there. But like,
Sure. Oh, there's
Jay
tons of
Kuzik,
them.
Jed, you know,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
crazy. So,
But
but
then-
at the same time, like
Yeah.
those were the very few ones that were selected. Like there was way more to choose from.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like I don't even want to be in that list. I'm just saying like
The talent pool
so
up here is
many
insane.
people were just as good
Yeah.
and did not get selected or didn't care whether or not they made it in the end, whatever it was. But Americans were just like, nah, we have enough Canadians right now. We don't need more Canadians.
Yeah, it's very similar to the like we have a girl on the team sort of thing. There was a like
Yeah.
and we got our Canadian guy with this guy.
The €1.
Yeah. Yeah, we got
Even
a Euro.
Japanese people are getting shafted, honestly. But
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. You're making a prediction for the Olympics that you know, we're going to see a lot of Chinese and Japanese medalists coming up. That's what you were saying. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm not a competition guy. I have no idea.
I think
about
it
what's
should
going
have
on there.
zero impact on our culture.
Right.
It's just a big concert, but that's not. It should not lead the conversation. It should not be the center of where we go next based on the results. It's just.
It sure is fun when
It's
somebody.
just a big entertainment thing, but it's not. It's nothing else.
It really is fun when someone like, you know, quote unquote famous comes to Seymour or whatever. You know, like Arthur Longo, hitting something. You know, but really, the locals are keeping up.
But at the same time, whether it's, of course, it's always cool to see someone from
so
the outside.
Dope. Yeah.
But see, like you said Arthur, but Arthur or Mark McMorris will have the same impact. Not to say that it shouldn't, but like you have an Olympian and very much the other guy is making. Yes, he went to the Olympics, but that's not where he became famous. Was literally for doing the opposite of that.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not about being an Olympian that really impacts how stoked people are.
Well, not at Seymour.
No, anywhere. I think like it's the core does not.
No, the core, right? Yeah.
But
when you're talking about the
we're all
core,
watching
right,
the Olympics, but in the end, like cool people are cool people,
Totally.
and we're always excited to see cool people in action.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it looks like. Could be Alex Status making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Absolutely. I like it. I feel like events like Jeff Keenan's memorial. I'm not calling it an event because it was a gathering. I think gatherings are the thing. You know, Nick's been talking about it, Salmon Arms. Like gatherings are the community coming together without a huge agenda, right? Nobody was going to Keenan's thing thinking, I'm going to make a bunch of money selling hot dogs here. Or I'm going to make, here's my chance to showcase my new product. It was just like the community coming together around Leanne and being like, this is huge and we're here. And wow, was that like just uplifting to be there and witness that. That was one of the best days I've ever had. Just so many people riding fast together and
that used to be more common. Of course, that's like a tragedy in a sense that
Mhm.
turned into one of the greatest day that a lot of people will have.
yeah.
Under some some circumstances, but there used to be more smaller scale gathering events at Seymour that
Women
were just
ride free. Remember the women ride free
that,
thing?
or just like random rail jams. Like Stepchild would have one, then next week it'd be Time Bomb would have a rail jam, or like a little like reasons to cook hot dogs and give away T-shirts.
Exactly.
It really didn't matter what. Like it was probably pouring rain, nobody was re-riding, whatever. Just a reason to say today we're all hanging here.
Yeah.
And that's what ECS is up the peak.
ECS
like
is so dope.
That's kind of what baked salmon was.
Not just kind of, like it always was that.
But that
it got out of hand.
but
how
you
big
get,
it was.
You get a few real competitors eventually.
yeah.
And same for West Coast Triple Plank, Marie's event. Like
I've never been to it. I have to go.
It's the coolest thing.
Of course it is.
Like you can just show up and not even care about the whatever's going on. It's just a gathering of people who live for this stuff.
Yeah, Drink Water was cool down in at Timberline.
Yes, but it's not the industry. That's the difference. Triple Plank is not the industry where Drink Water was a lot more.
I can't
like
remember.
all the pros were going. You know what I mean? Where Marie's thing is 95% locals
community
that live for snowboarding.
Sick.
And surfing and skating, whatever, but just like that want to live this lifestyle and idolize this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's much more community, I think.
Yeah.
And next to that, I'm gonna give an American shout out is Brain Bowl at Baker.
That's
like
cool.
that's beyond what I thought was possible as a community when everyone wants to build something and dream big.
Yeah.
Like it's the best.
That's so sick.
Like what people can do when they just choose to move snow together.
Yeah. Well, that was what was so fun about the baked salmon.
Yes.
Was people were moving snow in together.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost as much fun to build it as it was to ride it.
Well, yeah, you
only got 2 runs down
it was actually more fun to build.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to meet so many people for the first time in a way. Or like people still refer to like, oh yeah, we met 2019 baked salmon or whatever. Like,
oh yeah. That,
like this is
the last secret one or whatever it was.
The 2020 was
2020
was the last one, but like people
it.
will still refer to like this is when we met.
And it was at baked salmon.
Yeah, it was during the 3-4 days that we did that. You know.
Yeah, that feels
good.
You
get a real one-on-one, and it's more than just a chairlift. It's more than sharing runs. Like you're, I don't know, having long conversations similar to this, but as you're moving snow and
Crush's event is like that he brings everybody in to rake at the end of the day. It's like that's one of my favorite parts of it.
That's very important. I think like it really adds to. You're not just taking your opposite lap of someone that you're never shoulder to shoulder. So you have to confront certain people. In a good or bad way, but it's just like it brings people together. I don't know. I'm biased. I love shoveling.
Sure. Yeah. You're good at it.
But
you got an eye for it. Not everybody can build a jump. Not everybody can.
No, but I think it's important for everyone to try.
They should. Yeah.
And then
right.
You understand what it takes, and you see. I don't know.
You get your confidence, and you build a jump for you, and if it's more. I don't know if it's more fun. I'm kind of lazy. It's sort of nice to ride one of your jumps.
And that's
or the
fine.
ECS,
like we all serve a purpose.
Yeah.
In this community, I think.
Yeah.
Like some will be the ones talking for us.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a little lazy when it comes to shoveling.
And plenty of pro snowboarders were also lazy with the shovel. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's unusual, I think.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't expect people to
come and
be like me when I meet
hard.
someone that
right.
shovels as much as I do. It's like it's rare. It's just not. It doesn't exist.
That's so sick. Yeah, you've worked Crush events before, or he just he hires like
he's got his crew that travels with him
yeah.
and does this stuff.
Yeah.
But like when Jess was doing her event with him, I would always be there
right.
if Jess wanted like something fixed because she wanted to do something, I would kind of pay a little bit more attention on certain things.
Very cool.
But I wasn't under Crush's supervision, but you definitely need his blessings to
Move his
to
shit.
adjust things.
Yeah.
And he got to trust me over the years,
That's
which
dope.
felt nice because it's his thing.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
he came up to the last ECS we did.
Crush was there.
Yeah, he came to rake with us
Oh, that's
on the day
dope.
of the event. That was cool.
I didn't go to the last one, and I don't know why. Like, I don't have an excuse, but it's, yeah, as I get older, it's, when I miss things, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, dude, there's another one. Like,
But see,
next year,
a
I
friend
hope.
of mine, every time I mean, this might not be interesting for anyone, but
Sure.
when I go back to Quebec, that's usually when we do a gathering with all
Yeah.
of our crew, and it's
LMP
one in the
and guys
summer,
like
one
that,
in the
yeah.
winter,
Yeah.
and one of the guys once, because there's always someone who doesn't come and this and that, and one of the guy was like, man, honestly, now I don't want to miss it because I know if I miss it, it's not happening for another year. It's just a
Right.
regular night that we're all together. Like, it's nothing that fancy.
Yeah.
It's not like a baked salmon.
Right.
But he's like, still, this is not going to happen again for another 12 months. So I got to make sure I make it that night.
That's cool.
And so it's hard to do that for every Saturday of the year.
Sure.
But I'm trying to have that same mentality for going to the Burton premiere, going to the Man Boys premiere, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
as small or as big as it is, trying to make a little bit more effort, even if it doesn't feel right or is not, whatever. It's shitty out. Whatever it is, to be
Yeah,
more
for-
like, no,
yeah.
let's just,
For me,
I won't
like,
regret it.
I was nervous at the Burton premiere, like, pre-party. I was way more nervous at the UBC thing, which was just a bunch of kids. But I'm in a strange space where I want to talk to Mark McMorris, and so then that makes it awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk to the pros. I want to get them on the show. And that's not like, let's just, hey, can I take a picture with you? Or like, hey, can I buy you a shot or something that's, and God, I'm old.
Well,
So-
it's because you it's like anything. You go somewhere with a goal or
Yes.
like with expectations. It doesn't matter what it is. If you go somewhere with expectations, it makes it stressful and uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Yeah, and definitely like I'm learning my place or where people are most comfortable having a conversation, right? Bringing the equipment to somewhere where it's just like a celebration, a night to cut loose, and then trying to record with people. Hey, can you take a break from doing that and come over here and just sit down and let's talk for something that's going to be public, A lot of times when you're out just enjoying stuff, it's like you don't want it recorded. You just want to let loose and just have fun. And not in some sort of like, I'm going to do something bad kind of way, just in like, I don't want to be thinking of that right now, But then the photographers for SBC or someone are snapping photos. It's kind of it's fun to have that included in an event that you're like, oh, I might get a shot in a magazine right now.
No, I mean, you did do a bit of an interview thing when you went to the Wildcat premiere.
That was my favorite.
It kind of worked. I think you can do 2 questions and then move on.
That's it. That's the
'Cause
thing.
people are just
You can't sit down. Yeah, and Jody's
bouncing
been
around.
doing a great job. I think he records like socials posts at the Man Boys premiere or wherever. And those work. And Grenier does it too, like bomb hole, on location, quick edits of just like a couple of quick questions. I like that stuff for sure. But I really like sitting down for the long form conversation. I like getting, behind the scenes with people that, guys are coming up to you at the premiere being like, oh, whenever you're riding at Seymour, like, I know it's like, I'll follow you around, try to get pictures of you or whatever. It's dope. It's like we're all together and there's not like a divide, but there is a divide. You know what I mean?
There's only a divide. Like, there can be a divide everywhere if you want it to be.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, especially riding Seymour being such a small mountain. If
Yeah.
Devin Walsh is hitting a jump, you're most likely hitting a jump with Devin Walsh.
It's happening.
And
Yeah.
it's a crazy concept for me to even like, I don't know, I got to pinch myself to a degree, you know?
Absolutely.
Because when I moved to Whistler, you couldn't even get anywhere near those guys on the
No.
hill, or like they would make a point to, not necessarily him, but just like people that were good, they didn't want you to follow them or any of that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So now being in a position, and then you realize, oh shit, it was just because that was work back then, and now like in reality they're just snowboarders.
Yeah, you can't hit this jump because we've been working on it for like 2 days, and there's a photographer here, and like this is our job.
Work
Get
time.
out of here. Yeah. Oh, here comes the rain. All right, let's wrap it up, dude. I love talking with you, Ben. Thanks for hosting me and building a fire, keeping us warm.
Pleasure.
Every time I see you, we got good conversations about good stuff. Anything to shout out? Probably just, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
If you need someone to shovel an event, make it perfect.
Oh, I'm
You're the guy.
I'm booked. Don't even.
Perfect.
But if you need tiling in the summer, no, I
Excellent.
just I don't know. Life's good, man.
It's fucking great.
Like it's yeah. If anything, the industry is not us.
Yeah, it's not. No. What board are you riding this year?
I'm probably still gonna ride the Trump board.
Yep.
It just feels good.
Yeah, dope.
I don't know. I kind of rotate through all my old boards.
Yeah, good.
When Jeno asks me what I want to ride, I'm kind of always like, I don't know. I kind of have enough boards. Like I'm not trying to utilize more resources.
Sick.
And I think he's kind of on the same program on his end. I think a lot of people are waking up to the idea of like over consumption and creating stuff that are only created to go on sale in 2 months. Like that's kind of a strange cycle.
That's the worst, yeah.
So yeah, probably riding the same board I've been riding for the last 7 years.
Dude, I love that.
Change the buckles on the bindings here and there. And
Yep. That's the best ad, is like real people that have ridden stuff for a long time. It holds up.
yeah, and what's cool too with the dynos is the graphics never really feel wrong.
No, definitely not.
There's boards that sometimes they feel old as soon as they're not the board of the year.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And with dynos, I don't know what the recipe is, but maybe I'm biased. Fair, but
No, I think they use real artists, and I think the artists put something more than just a like, hey, here's this year's
a graphic,
model.
like
Right.
made with a computer. It's like
Yeah.
there's a real something behind it, and so yeah, I guess I'm lucky enough to have those boards.
Yeah, and lucky for you, Trump just keeps getting worse. So
I mean, it's not because it's Trump. It's just there's a balance of the top sheet. When I look at it, it just feels right.
that Nixon board that it's a tribute to was a sick board. It was the last board that Joyride made that didn't have inserts.
Okay,
You had to direct mount that thing.
isn't that nuts?
It's the last one, I think.
Did you know too the last board with my name on it on dynos, that has the recycling logo on the base?
Yeah.
Did you know that was a tribute board to something else?
Rozzy Recycler,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Yeah, that was an actual sick board, dude. They used only recycled PTEX on the base.
Okay, so that was the story, because that year those years they made a lot of boards with recycling logos on
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It was
Like not just the Tin Man, like a lot of
so that
different
meant
boards.
Yeah, so that meant that it had a recycled base.
Okay.
That was made from offcuts, and then they were dyed black.
Yeah.
Because it was just all different colors, I think, and they just melted it all down, dyed it black, and it was an extruded base, but it was a recycled base. And at that time, it was a good selling feature, but I don't think it was greenwashing. I think they just were like,
It was just a great idea.
we should do this. Yeah. I mean, we need to do this.
A lot of the ski hills in Quebec had original Sin or Rossignol boards for their rental fleets.
Yeah, right.
So I saw a lot of those Tin Man boards.
Yeah, Grouse had them. Grouse had it was all Tin Man, and a couple of cobs even. Remember the corn cob?
I saw one on Marketplace
No
recently.
way.
I was tempted.
Yeah, because it was the same shape, I think, wasn't it, as a Tin Man? Might have
It was
been.
earlier board. It was a few years earlier.
Yeah, it was like 94, I think. Was it
Because I
when
didn't snowboard yet.
Sublimation just had come in, and they were like, we could put a corn cob on the whole top. Photorealistic corn cob.
That was a sick idea. Oh, one thing, my only shout out is if anyone has the canoe board
Yeah,
that I designed with Geno, I'm looking to buy one.
cool.
I missed out on a sick one on Marketplace a few weeks ago, but I'm looking for that board.
Okay, hopefully that works. It worked
in
for
decent
someone
shape,
else.
because I have a beat up one, but I'm looking for a nice one.
Oh, sick. Yeah,
Because I would ride that again.
the canoe.
It felt good looking down at the board.
That's such a big deal, isn't it? Looking down at your feet and seeing a board that inspires you. It's a big deal.
It's a shape, but also the lighter color helps. I've said that before. But white top sheets always feel lighter
Oh, yeah.
because it blends with the white, so it doesn't feel bulky.
Yeah, that ride DH I rode was a all white DFC. Like it was like a, it was white. It felt lighter. I would agree with you there. And also, Ride was doing a like limited edition. Only 25 of this special graphic colorway or whatever. Shop guys get the first crack at it, and goes to team riders, and so nobody else has it but like the core. It was a good marketing play.
There was a lot more of that.
Yeah.
There's not, at least as far as
Well,
I know.
Dino still does it all the time.
Dino just doesn't make that many boards, so they're all limited edition.
There you go.
I think that's the beauty of it.
That's epic.
But yeah, I guess buy Dinos.
Yeah.
It's not owned by a tennis company or anything else. It's a Sean Genovese, and that's it.
Yeah. I've talked to Geno a few times about doing the show, and it's just not his MO. We might do one day. So yeah, buy Dinos and support the community by being a part of it. Just be an active part of it. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, you want your local hill to be the coolest place you can be at.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of,
That's the way to do it.
let's try,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see you on the hill. Probably the next time I see you, it'll be snow.
hiking Seymour.
I think
It probably snowed today.
there's 9 feet in the forecast at Baker, I just heard. Or 90 inches. What's 90 inches? 8 feet
That's just under 8 feet, 7.5.
in the next 10 days.
That's enough.
They open after a meter, so that's half of that.
Okay, I'm not ready. I gotta finish the renos here.
Right on. Thanks, Ben. FNRAd shoutouts this week to Ben Bilocq. Thanks for keeping the fire going. Thanks to listener Adam Finley for reaching out this week. Thank you, Anson Treitz, for always staying on top of the snow forecast. You rock, dude. Special thanks to Jaden Meeks, Chris Savage, Jess Nelson, and Owen Pryor this week. You guys are keeping me stoked. Please buy a ticket to win a snowboard for $5 at our website, FNRAdpodcast.com. And be sure to come back next week for another episode of the FNRAd Snowboard Podcast, presented by Flojoy Water and brought to you by FNRAd Productions.